Possum football!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thick and Thin Sports Cast with your hosts, Nate Hanks and Travis Watson. We're here to talk all things sports and just have a good time. Listener beware, there may be some adult language. Now, let's get to the show!
Hey, Nate, how's it going?
Hey, Travis, how are you?
Not too bad. Just stuck at home, living this we should have sound. I'm showing sound.
Are we showing sound on the YouTube?
We should have sound. Audio bit. I had it off for a second. Let's see if it's back now.
Yep, she said back now.
Okay,
All right.
that's weird.
Well, anywho,
You'll get I'll upload the video with an audio.
that means you have to just listen to it on iTunes or Spotify or any of the other plethora of sites that we're on.
Yes.
But yeah, so the desk is getting there. Sunday should be, it says 72 hours to cure.
Yep.
So,
Did you get all the bubbles out of it?
yeah, I did use the heat gun on it and just kind of kept going over it.
Yep.
Um,
That's good.
did that instead of working out, which kind of sucks. Like I was fully...
It worked out just one arm, but you're used to doing that with one
kept
arm.
Swapping. I had to swap.
Didn't want one forearm to get too big.
No, it would get tired. Holding that heat gun for so long, you're like, oh.
See, that's why you do it with the torches, because it's so much hotter. It gets the bubbles out faster.
Yeah, we just did several layers. I'm probably gonna have to try to figure out how to maybe buff it down or something.
Yeah, usually you start with like a 100 grit, sand it down with
Wet sand it.
You can get down to a wet sand, and then you just take some wax and wax it real quick, and boy, it comes out super clear. But you sand it down with
floor wax, like a liquid wax.
No, you can do like a car wax. You can do like a hard car wax.
Like some turtle wax or Mother's or something.
Yeah, something like that. And you sand it down, start with 100, and work your way up to a wet sand where you're doing like 500 grit, and just real smooth buff.
Buffing it.
Man, we still got sound or no?
She sent me a text message saying we did.
All right, it's weird that we're still saying we have no sound. I don't know what's going on. You have the mics on, so I don't know.
Lower than recommended for the bit rate.
Yes, so we have sound. Thanks, Amanda. I don't know.
So I am gonna go ahead and jump on wrong one. Thick and
Yep.
thin.
Yeah, we're on that one.
Yeah, I started typing in talking stuff.
You remember pull your thing.
Oh, yeah. No, we're fine. I should be muted.
Let's hope so. Well, then how are we going to find out if we have sound?
Oh, right.
We've done this before.
Actually, it doesn't even say that we're live. Oh, no. Because usually it says when we're live, and it's definitely...
Right.
unless I gotta click on that first.
Probably click on it.
There we go.
All right, let's see if we have sound.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we have sound.
Okay. And we're good. Yeah, so I had my little interview thing.
Oh, yes. How did that go?
On Monday. It went really good. It was weird.
It was weird. How weird was it?
It was so weird that I got cotton mouth and was surprised I was really able to
Even make it through
articulate
it?
anything. And then I also learned that I have an extreme difficulty talking about myself or taking self-credit for things.
Really? You just learned this?
Well, a little bit.
A little bit. We've known this for a couple years now.
Yeah, well, so I mean, I guess you can say I'm not selfish, but so.
Ask any woman.
Or any guy.
Yes, or any guy.
But so I
right, Smitty?
Right, Chris. So I started out. He got us on, and I did a video chat through Skype first. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna do video." I'm like, "I don't know. I've never done this before." So I started doing video, and I actually saw Bean.
Yep.
And he's like 6'5", 6".
You felt small even on camera.
And the camera was at his chest level, so I could just see his chest. I was like, "God, Bean, you are tall," and like that's a good looking chest though. And Bean's like, the video quality kind of messes with the audio, so we'll just do a regular, like a telephone call. And that made it even harder for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't like talking on the phone in general.
Yeah.
And to talk to somebody that I have
idolized,
listened to, and I do, I really like Bean. He was always my favorite part of the Kevin and Bean show.
Yeah.
And he is a well-respected person in the radio game. Like he is somebody to strive for because he does excel and he is extremely well spoken and knows what he's doing.
Yep.
And it made me feel like a novice because I have our new mixer board. And
did you explain to him that you had just got a new mixer board and you were using it for the first time?
I was like, he's like, "Well, you've been podcasting for a while, so you should know what you're doing." I'm like, "Well,
I am actually new to this whole mixer board thing. We got a cheapo one."
I'm like, I just got I'm like, I'm just trying to get my studio set up. I really don't know how to use any of the equipment I have now. The real stuff that I have is at my buddy's Travis's house, and he's the one who operates all of the other stuff, not me. Because they asked me if I was going to record it on my end too, and I was like, I don't know how to do that.
You're like my buddy Travis. He's the whole, like, he knows how to record the video. He takes care of all that stuff.
Exactly. So then he's like, all right, so we're talking to Nate from the Talking Stuff Podcast Network. And he's like, so Nate, would you consider yourself the founder, the CEO, or what? How would you describe yourself? And instantly I was like, well,
yeah, kind of.
Well, no. Well, in my mind I was like, well, it's not me. Like, yeah, it was me who started this whole thing.
Yeah.
But without Smitty and you and Jeremy and then someday Matt,
yeah, I
wouldn't have any of this. So it was very hard for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm the one who started this and I did all this and this is all me. It's like,
this has been a group effort.
And I go, well, I would say I'm the lead conspirator to all of this.
That's a good way to put it, actually.
Yeah. So we talked, and it was very surreal to talk about our little janky ships, like my two bathtubs that are racing, or little life rafts that are floating in the water.
Yep.
To somebody that's had a 30-year career
in radio, and now podcasting. And
I'm going to be in my voice talking about our show is going to be broadcast all over the UK.
Oh, wow.
And anybody else that happens to follow Bean, that follows his feeds and downloads their app.
Yep.
And can listen, like, that kind of exposure was really weird. Because, again, I've been really fighting to market our shows and be out there and have people listen to me and my friends laugh and just joke around about random stuff.
Yep.
And it was really interesting. And he's like, well, how did this start? And I was like, well, Talking Stuff started off as a movie review show. And it just never took off.
It turned into a show about nothing and where you just made jokes and laughed.
Yeah, and I was like, and I go, well, Talking Stuff is a show about nothing. And You know,
3 hours of nothing some days.
well, yeah, I go, it's a show about nothing, and it does hinge on Craigslist misconnections. And I brought up the fact like that. I go, you know, people on the internet are scandalous. And I was like, it's kind of like you're people of Florida. Well, no, that's something else. But I was like, and he goes, well, how did you, what was it? How do you market yourself? How do you push your stuff out? I'm like, well, you know, and I'm jumping around on how it all went, but
Yep.
I was like, well,
we'll have to listen to the audio when it finally comes out,
yeah.
so we get it all.
So
but.
yeah, they're gonna send me the audio at some point when they're done editing it, and as soon as he said editing, I'm like, editing? Who edits?
You edit? What was this edit thing?
What is
we just let it go.
I'm a one take and done. Like that's what we do. It's just one take. We're done. No editing required. When you
Did he get a good laugh out of that?
No, I didn't say that out loud. In my mind,
You should
after he said, "Oh yeah," because they sent it to me through Twitter. It was a DM.
Yep.
And I was like thinking about it, like, well, Travis says he edits. I'm like, what the hell does he edit?
Actually, I cut up some stuff. I like stuff that we don't need, like last week's. I still have to upload it on Facebook. The last week's video, I got rid of the whole end where we just sat there and looked at stuff on Facebook Marketplace for a while.
But that's quality. That's good
really,
stuff.
when I was looking at it, when I was listening back, it really wasn't anything good in there.
That's why you don't listen.
See, that's what I do though. When I edit the video, the live video, literally, if you watch it live, you get all the fun stuff. But if you don't watch it live,
to the podcast, you get all that
fun stuff. But if you're watching on Facebook, you're missing a ton because we don't I will edit out stuff that we don't need, stuff that either is like really pushing boundaries. Sometimes I might bring it back a little bit. I leave a lot of stuff in, but I boundary it a little bit more than when we're doing it live.
Well, and when I was talking to Bean, I was like, because on our shows, it's explicit. I have no idea what their policy is.
Right, that's true.
So I didn't want to have them have to bleep me, and I said ass. And I was like, oh my gosh, should I have not said that?
You're like, I'm sorry. Excuse my French.
Well, I didn't correct myself because generally the English market is a lot more free spoken than Americans.
Oh yeah,
are.
they call cigarettes fags, so.
Yeah. And they're funnier.
Yes.
Their humor on that end. And it was funny because I think he said flat or something. And I was like, oh, look at you trying to be English. And then we talked about this show.
Yep.
And, because I when I was talking about talking stuff, I mentioned, how Smitty and I met through the service and we were always really close friends. And then we decided to do the show. And I mentioned how I'm used to the time change difference.
Yep.
Because he was in Germany and I was, it should be a little bit easier to do now. He's only an hour difference. It's just waiting for the studio to come up so that way it can be done easier.
Right.
So then we talked about this one, and I was like, oh yeah, it started off. My friend Travis just wanted to do a sports show, and he was like, that's what happened. And then I was like, eventually we brought his brother Jeremy on, and he's the guy behind the curtain. He's never on screen. He's rarely ever on screen.
Right. Except for when you're away for work, and now you're not going to be away for anything.
No. And then I was like, all right, well, we talked about sports. I have my random ass sport of the week, and that's when I said ass.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm like, but with this whole coronavirus thing, kind of leaves us with almost nothing to talk about. And he's like, all I was going to mention that is it must be very difficult for you to do a show that hinges on something else. And if there's no sports, you have nothing to talk about.
Thank God for the NFL this week.
Well, and I told him that. I was like, well, that's true. Thankfully, the NFL league offices are still working. And free agency starts on Wednesday.
Yep.
So we'll have content to generate from, but at some point that well's gonna dry.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I'm like, he's like, well, what are you gonna do then? I'm like, I don't know, talk about sports movies like The Replacements or Angels in the Outfield or something. And he just started laughing. He's like, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
At least it's something. I was like, yeah.
Yep.
And then he was like, well, what advice do you give for somebody that's trying to start out? I go, well, for us, it's very difficult because he asked me, is this just a hobby? Is this something I want to do, to make a living out of? And I told him how
it's always been your dream.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I either wanted to be a radio DJ or a clown. And I said my mom was afraid of clowns, hated clowns, so that clown dream was pushed out of me.
Yep.
And he's like, well, Nate, just to be fair, all radio DJs are clowns.
He's not wrong.
No, and he's like, well, what got you to doing podcasting? I was like, well, I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, and during one of his podcasts with Ralph Garman, he had mentioned, if you want to do it, just do it.
Yep.
it costs nothing, but really it does cost a lot if you want to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, I'm a few thousand in the hole to do something that I really enjoy doing. I was like, it's like therapy every week.
Yep.
And
Get you out of your house, especially when you're having your bad weeks.
Well, right now it does.
Right now, you're still at my house, so I haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah. So when you need to get out,
so when I'll go to your house and you come here. We'll do it.
Just rotate. That's actually not a horrible idea. The only thing is I'm gonna have different mixers at both places.
I'm a quick learner.
Considering
I use the mixer and this mic for my work online meeting. The only thing I didn't want to do is feed the audio through, so I had to use my other set of headphones.
I was say you're gonna.
But I probably had the best quality audio out of everybody.
They were like, "Wow, Travis, you sound really good. Like, what are you using?" So he asked for the advice. So I go, well, proper hashtagging is important.
Yes.
And then I said for talking stuff, I try to cleverly label the episodes. And I said that the most popular episode is Sundresses and Pantyhose, which is episode 3.
Yep.
And he's like, oh. He's like, that's a good idea. Like, oh, he's like, that's clever. I'm like, yeah, well, and I go to scribe. I was like, well, that episode, there was a woman at a Walmart parking lot. And I was like, Walmart. And
full Massachusetts, yeah. Walmart.
And he's like, I was like, yeah, there's a woman in the Walmart parking lot, and she was giving these guys at work at like Safe Light Auto Glass a pantyhose show, and she would keep putting her pantyhose on in her car, and then go inside and come back. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to listen to that episode. And I was like, it's the most downloaded, it has the most plays. It's it still comes up. I wouldn't be surprised if after this show here, that one will probably surge back up.
Yep.
But it was a really good interview. I felt honored and just a privilege, and it felt great to talk about you and Smitty and Jeremy. I feel bad because I forgot Matt.
Oh yeah.
And I forgot to mention my kid. I forgot to mention Brody because Brody's a big fan, and I felt bad that I forgot those.
Yep.
I guess it would be different if Matt and I were recording. Then
right.
I would have been like, oh yeah, and we're doing this one.
Right.
But Matt.
But it's hard to get Matt even here for these shows.
Oh, I don't invite him. Which
today you should have because we're down on a man.
Yeah, I can't even do Thin's Think Tank this week.
No,
it's only you. Unless we get the ladies to come down. But we only have 3 headsets.
Yeah, well, that's one of those ones that we could go off the headset for because the more and more I thought about it, we could do this without the headphones, but then we wouldn't be able to adjust the mixer board. We need to have one guy has a headset doing the mixer board.
I enjoy the headset because I can hear you right
clear.
In my ear.
Yeah.
If I take these off, ADHD is going to go everywhere.
Yeah. You need the headset on.
Yep. It keeps me focused. Keeps me honed in. But yeah, it was really good. I can't wait to get the audio and share it to the network fans and all that.
That'll be fun.
Yep.
Did you tell them that we started off just doing audio, then one day I decided I brought a camera home?
Did we start just audio?
We did start just audio.
Episode?
The first 7 episodes were audio only and podcasted only. And then we decided, hey, we should probably do YouTube or at least Facebook Live.
Yeah, we started with Facebook Live.
But then the delay was sucky, so we decided...
It took 7 weeks until we swapped over, really?
Yeah, 7 weeks until we decided we did a Facebook Live, but the delay was 30 seconds, and by the time we had gotten through what we were doing, stuff were just popping up, and it was just so far behind, and there's no way to get ultra low latency on YouTube, on Facebook.
Where the heck was I? How did I forget that we did that many episodes without any audio?
Because now it feels like we've been doing it a camera for live forever.
Well, what's funny is
this is episode 29 this week.
Right. Well, he asked me. He's like, "Well, how many episodes are you in on each?" And for talking stuff, I have no idea.
Yeah, you're over 100.
I think no, we're not at 100 yet.
You're on 100 over on Spreaker.
I don't think we have that. Oh, I got to upgrade our plan, by the way, because some of those things are going to fall off. Oh, so if you
do you want me to download the audio? I can to save it for you.
Oh, I have mostly all the audio.
Okay.
If you listen through Spreaker, some of the earliest episodes are going to start falling off, which is mostly Talking Stuff podcast, which some of the early stuff wasn't very good anyway.
Except for episode 3, apparently.
Episode 3 is a gem. But I'm going to have to try to upgrade the plan anyway, because then I can see all the statistics of who's listening and where and all that.
Oh, that's going to be cool. Especially when we got all of Europe listening so all of a sudden.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, I'm probably going to upgrade that. But for the time being, early episodes should still be on iTunes. Spotify is just Spreaker is going to start pulling old audio off.
Speaking of, when you listen to us on those, make sure you like and subscribe. And give us any kind of review. We don't care if it's bad or good. Just give us a review.
But preferably good. If you're at 5 stars.
Even if you hate us, give us 5 stars and then tell us you hate us in the review.
Also, if you want to contribute, Thick and Thin Sportscast at gmail.com. You can slide into our DMs on Facebook.
Yep.
You can find me or us on podcast _stuff on Twitter. That's the main one I use. And that's where I post some different things about, sports and talking stuff. So I do both Thick and Thin stuff and talking stuff on there. And that's the main one I use the most. I don't use my own personal one anymore because I don't market myself. I market everybody else, which is something I should learn how to not do.
Yeah.
But it's what it is.
It is what it is.
You can also leave comments here on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, comment. Tell us how bad we suck. Alrighty, so I guess we should probably get into this.
Yeah, we can do that.
So, as we all have known, sports is still basically canceled. Well, any live sports.
Yeah. So I left almost everything there.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, sports isn't canceled forever. So why don't we go ahead and leave our templates alone?
Right, leave our template alone.
We're not going to do Thin's Think Tank this week.
Nope.
Which is a good one.
We'll save that for next week. Hopefully, we'll have something else to talk about.
Yeah, it essentially
because the NFL canceled the draft right now.
Yeah.
They delayed it.
Okay. Well, essentially, what I'm trying to do is build us more stuff, sports related.
Yep.
So we can keep going. So this is it's where you guys have to guess and all that.
Yep.
I pull a top 25 of something. I'm not telling you what because I don't want you all to go searching for it.
Just tell me after. That way I can search for it and make Jeremy look stupid.
No.
Come on.
I was say maybe like a guess.
Man, you like that we suck so much.
But yeah, it's good. You put some baseball stuff in there. I think.
Yes, I did have. There was some baseball news out of the Red Sox today. And other than that, it was mostly just other than your random ass sport of the week.
Yep. And
we have some NFL stuff for trades and free agency free agency stuff.
And we'll kind of keep it open and we'll
that dreaded free agent that moved from New England.
We'll go ahead and talk about the Red Sox because
all right.
Next.
So, in MLB news out of the Red Sox today, Chris Sale will end up undergoing Tommy John surgery. The Red Sox delivered some bad news about Chris Sale on Thursday. The team's ace left-hander is set to undergo Tommy John surgery on his ailing elbow. It has been a long road since Sale first reported discomfort in his elbow last August. He didn't require surgery at the time. He ended up missing the final 6 weeks of the regular season, though. The Red Sox hoped the offseason would allow Sale to heal up, but the elbow gave him problems almost immediately in spring training.
Well, it is the offseason.
Now it is again. After being shut down for 3 weeks, Sale attempted to begin a throwing program on Wednesday. Now, just 24 hours later, his 2020 season is over. Recovery time for Tommy John surgery can take between 12 to 15 months, so that basically puts him halfway through next year if it's 15 months. So that means his 2021 season he may not come in until halfway through the year, which would suck. This is the first major arm injury Sale has suffered during his Major League Baseball career since his first full season with the Chicago White Sox back in 2012. Sale has been dominant and durable as a pitcher, though. He has. He's been a good pitcher for us, and even before that. Even after breaking his foot in spring training in 2015, and he missed 6 weeks last season, he has made at least 25 starts in every season and topped 109 innings 5 times. 190 innings, which is a lot nowadays. They don't pitch like they used to.
No,
where
'cause
they
only
were
do what?
one or two pitches a game max, but now they have like one or two pitches before the sixth inning.
The opener usually goes the first 5 to 6, and then when you're hitting your close-ups, your closers, you pitch an inning each, so then you have 3 pitchers towards the end, and then you have your.
Nowadays, they're even doing like starters will get real lucky if they get to 5. Then you have a mid-range pitcher, and then you have a 1 to 2 closers a game. So you could have 4 to 5 pitchers a game nowadays.
Like, so all the Red Sox games I've been to, or last year, it was like the starting pitcher pitched the first 5. It's almost a guarantee you're going to pitch 5. If you're still pitching well, you're going to pitch into your 6th or 7th. And then it's like 7th, you have a new pitcher. 8th, you have a new pitcher. 9, and then 9, you have a new pitcher. Like, it's like every single inning you have another pitcher.
Yeah, it's just getting worse and worse, it seems like. During that time though, Sale was selected to 6 All-Star games and finished top 6 in the ALCY Young voting 6
Cy
times. Yeah, the Cy Young, sorry. I knew that. I knew what I was reading.
Did.
I knew it earlier. That's the worst part because I read through this. His best season was his first season with Boston. He finished runner-up to the 2017 AL Cy Young voting after finishing with an MLB best 308 strikeouts. And that's the only other news we have before your random-ass sport of the week.
All right, so my random mass sport of the week is the Ocho.
Oh, the Ocho?
The Ocho.
So we got dodgeball.
So, with all of us living in a world without sports, ESPN has decided to bring back the Ocho this Sunday. The Ocho's lineup is as follows. Starting at midnight, you have Jacksonville ACL Cornhole Championships 2020 kickoff battle.
Where can I find the Ocho?
ESPN 2.
ESPN 2?
ESPN 2.
I wonder if I have ESPN 2.
It's going to be all day on Sunday.
Oh, I may have to put this on because this might be something fun to watch with the kids.
At 2 a.m., you have the World Axe Throwing League 2019 World Championship.
That's cool.
4 a.m. is the U.S. Open Ultimate Championships.
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Okay. At 6 a.m., you have the 2019 Spike Ball College Championship. That's fun to watch.
Never seen that.
At 7 a.m. is the 2019 Las Vegas Highland Games.
Oh, those are awesome.
Those are fun, but I don't know if I want to wake up at 7 a.m.
I know.
Oh, 7:30 is going to be good, too. It's the Putt-Putt Championship.
Oh.
At 8 a.m., you have the 2019 Ideal Electricians National Championship.
What do they do? Cold. Hot. Cold. Cold. Hot!
Hey, you forgot to turn the breaker off!
That might trigger some people, like my buddy that got shocked pretty good.
At 9 a.m., you have the E60 as part of the Ocho.
What is that?
I don't know. We got to tune in at 9 a.m. on ESPN2.
Apparently.
At 9:30 a.m., you have the 51st National Stone Skipping Competition.
I used to be pretty good at that.
I can get like 5 skips.
The best I ever done was 10.
Look at you.
I had an arm back then. I could really huck it.
Well, that was your single days. When
It was.
You were training for that.
Yes, I was.
At 10:30 a.m. is the 2007 World Sports Stacking Championship. I'm not going to watch that.
I hope it's the cup stacking.
That's definitely what it is. I don't care about that. This one, the 11:30, I care about.
This I want to watch.
It's the 2019 World Sign Spinning Championship.
That's pretty good.
At noon is the 2006 Crystal World Hamburger Eating Championship.
Oh, I could enter that. If I didn't eat
Back
for like
in
3 days, I
2006.
could have done that in 2006 and now.
So Keith came to visit me way back when I was in Georgia.
Yep.
And this was after he got removed from the Army.
So he snuck onto the Army base because he was removed.
No, he can still come on. But he bought 100 Crystal Burgers.
Crystal burgers.
Yeah, and they're little sliders. Crystal Burgers
Okay.
are like White Castle.
Okay.
And that's all he ate the entire time was Crystal's Burgers.
And how
the
many
entire
did
weekend.
And he did 100 burgers in one
I think
weekend.
he did 100 burgers in 2 days.
That's not too bad. They're
Keith.
small burgers.
Keith was a small man.
Yes, but if you notice these these eating championship things, it's usually these really skinny guys that win because they stretch out their stomach, but they're not fat.
See, the 1 o'clock is the one that you would want to be a part of. Is the 2006 Johnsonville Brat Eating World Championship.
You like the brats more than I do.
I do. I love cylindrical meat-like objects. The more cephalic, the better. At 2 p.m. is the European Tram Driver Championship.
What the hell is a tram driver?
Train?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would make sense.
At 3 p.m. is the 2019 Stupid Robot Fighting League.
I can make you look like a robot.
3:30 is the 46th annual Cherry Pit Spitting Championship.
I know some girls that would be good at that.
Not stem tying, pit spitting.
Oh, that's what I said. I meant what I said.
So you know a lot of spitters is what you're saying. Not a lot of swallowing is what I'm gathering. 4 o'clock is the Professional Arm Wrestling Championship. 4:30 is the 2019 Golden Tee World Championship. 2018, or at 5 p.m., is the 2018 Classic Tetris World Championship.
Oh, I could play this.
At 5:30 is the E60 on ESPN 8 presented by Liberty Mutual. 6:30
is the Ocho's American Dodgeball Continental Cup USA versus Canada.
And that's at 6:30.
See, that's why you have the Ocho.
The Ocho. I should have turned the reverb on. At 7:30, you have the 2019 Gels Marble Runs. At 8 p.m. is the Slippery Stairs College Tour. 8 p.m. sounds good.
Yes, it does.
8:30 is the 2019 Death Diving World Championship.
You only have one shot at this.
I'll be interested at 9:30 is the Dodge Juggle 3. And at 10:30 is the Moxie Games 3.
So I'm guessing you're juggling Dodge pickups, and then you're drinking a lot of Moxie playing games.
I mean, I do enjoy Moxie. It's a pretty good soda.
I don't like Moxie.
I do. I tried it for the first time last year. And
I haven't had it in a long time.
It's my memento to Keith. You'd randomly drink Moxie. I'd be like, is that any good? He's like, no, it sucks. All right, man. Go to you. And
that is all your weird-ass sports.
Yep, that was my weird-ass sport of the week. And so in NFL news, since we have this issue with coronavirus,
yep,
Sean Payton needs a saint. Today,
yeah,
Saints head coach became the first person within the NFL to have tested positive for the coronavirus. Payton was one of 20% of people that had no cough or fever. He was tested on Sunday after feeling fatigued and got his results today. So it's now entered the NFL.
Yep.
He has taken appropriate measures. He's self-quarantined.
But the problem was last week he was at a horse race for somebody's horse. I can't remember who that he's friends with. And he was there before knowing that he had this. It was like earlier this week or something like that. He had it going on, and he possibly infected up to like 15 to 20 people easily.
Mm.
Yes, you got to turn on your reverb.
Yeah, I'm going to do it in a second. But it's just... Oh, I was going to say, did you see the news about the spring break?
Which spring?
I don't know if it was like an Onion thing or not, but there was a major gay community beach party in Miami, and like half of them contracted the COVID-19.
It wouldn't surprise me considering the Florida governor told everybody to get off the beaches. This is ridiculous. I know it's nice out. I know it's beautiful, but you can't be on the beaches like this because the beaches down in Florida, Miami, Florida, were packed, wall-to-wall people.
I had also been told that the CDC is trying to encourage men to shave their beards.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
That's what I said. I was like, I have months where I don't have to get a haircut. And I don't have to shave.
Yeah, I plan on going back to work with the bushiest thing because I'm not even shaving up here.
I may not have to shave until July.
I have a feeling that if this all keeps going the way it is, I may not be going back to work until July.
I'm curious that after this whole thing goes through, how many employers
yes
see if there's a rise in productivity with people telecommuting.
Yeah.
And then the ones that excel at it, be like, you know what? You work better away from here. So
I know I'm working a lot longer hours away from there.
You're insane. You need to log that stuff and use that as a bargaining.
What I do is I'll send emails at 2:00 in the morning and be like, hey, this is done. Hey, that's done. Hey, this is done. So that way, and it's of course to my boss and other people, so they all see it like, why is Travis up at 2 a.m.? Was he just up really early? And then I don't reply to another email. It's like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, my tactic of responding to an email as I'm pulling my ID card out of the computer doesn't work now. Because I'm at home, which
Yep.
I still do. Like, I'll save up like 5 emails, and I'll draft them at like noon.
Yep.
I'll wait till 3:55
Yep.
and hit send on all of them, and then pull my ID card out and walk away. Especially if I know it's going to be like cause like an uproar of some sort.
Yeah.
So that if they try to call my office, they can't get me.
Right, but now that you're at home, they all have the ability to call you
I
home.
forgot to call forward my phone. Oh well.
Well, they're going to call the office anyways, so it don't matter.
Yeah, my cell phone number is in my email.
So they're going to call your cell.
Well, I was going to forward my office calls to my cell phone, so that way, if they called the office, it'll still come to me. But
If they call in the office for me, I don't want to talk to them. That's the way I look at it. They can call somebody more important.
that's true. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
All right, so
Hang on.
you still not ready? So you still trying to figure this all out?
Yeah, because I don't use this very often.
I know. You ready?
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Trades and free agent sightings.
Thank God.
Yeah, we needed this.
Yes. I was like today was actually it was nice to have new news on like what's going on because we had nothing all week and all month. Well, ever since this happened, where it's just like nothingness. It's sad.
So the Eagles are discussing an extension as part of a possible trade for quarterback Darius Slay.
Cornerback, not quarterback.
Did I say corner?
No, you said quarter.
I feel like I said corner.
I thought you said quarter. I don't know. Anyways,
cornerback.
cornerback.
Earlier in the day, Lions signed former corner Desmond Trufant to a contract Wednesday, and Slay on Twitter is hoping that this speeds up his process. Slay is 29.
So no
Blah,
new
blah,
news
blah.
there.
Yeah. I just quickly toss these in here so that way I would lose them.
Right.
The Chargers plan on moving forward with Tyrod Taylor as their quarterback.
Well, yeah. Now that Brady's no longer available, we'll get there.
Do you think Tyrod Taylor is going to be a serviceable quarterback for there? He didn't do horrible in Buffalo.
That was Buffalo's quarterback last year, right?
No,
that was a couple years ago.
They have an Allen, I believe.
Right. You're right. That's what it was. Yeah, he wasn't too bad at Buffalo, but
Tyrod Taylor was Rex Grossman,
Grossbacks.
the coach, Rex Grossman.
Yeah.
No.
God
damn it, Jeremy, where are you?
Yeah.
You're not even watching. That's the other part.
That's the hard part. You're gonna at least tell us like these weird things.
Yeah, Rex Grossman, Sexy Rexy.
Yeah.
He
no, Sexy Rexy was
he was with the Jets and then he went up to Buffalo.
No, that's not Rex Grossman. Sexy Rexy, the foot fetish man. Now I'm drawing a blank because I know it's not Grossman.
I'm getting there. Hang
Rex
on.
Ryan.
Rex Ryan.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, Rex Grossman wasn't he a
That was. I don't even know what it was.
player?
Maybe. Yeah, it's Rex Ryan.
Rex Ryan.
Yeah, Sexy Rexy was Rex Ryan.
Rex
Grossbeck. Yeah, who's Grossbeck?
Grossman. He was a quarterback.
For who?
Da Bears.
The Bears. That's why you remember him. So, I think he may be okay. I don't think they'll be a contender this year, but he may surprise us. Who knows?
I feel like the teams are already pre-identified. Now, the real question, and we're going to get to this, is your division.
Oh, when we get there, we'll have a lot of talk about.
Your division intrigues me beyond belief.
Things are no longer set in stone like they used to be. We'll put it this way.
I told you guys.
Oh, I know.
The time was coming, and everybody was like,
I
he's
remember,
never going to leave.
The worst part is I remember the time before, and I'm worried because I'm remembering the time before. Like, I may love my Patriots. I do. But this is going to be hard to watch.
It's going to be Bledsoe.
It's going to be Bledsoe
Parcells
or
again.
pre-Bledsoe Parcells again. Oh, God.
It's gonna be back before they change their freaking logo.
Oh, so
I'm telling you.
well, when we get there, we'll get there.
I've been talking about it, and I've been telling you all, and you're all like, "Oh no, Brady will never go to somewhere else."
I think it's the talks he had just weren't very productive. Todd Gurley was released from the Rams, which clears off about $10 cap space. I'm guessing it meant $10 million.
Hang on.
Yeah, 10 million in cap space.
Let me fix that for you.
The team was trying to trade him, but ended up just releasing him.
Yep.
The Packers released Jimmy Graham on Monday. The Bears signed the tight end yesterday, 2 years for 2 years and $16 million a year, and with $9 million guaranteed. So he went from here to here, right? Because Chicago's over here. So he went from here to here.
He went left.
No, did he go left?
Yeah, Illinois is to the left.
Oh yeah.
Wisconsin. So he started in the south.
Yep.
Then went northwest. Then went midwest.
Didn't he do fairly well last year for your Packers?
I think he only had like 6 receptions for like 80 yards.
Oh,
and
really?
Like 3 touchdowns. He barely got used.
Oh.
He was only successful in New Orleans. He didn't do too much in Seattle.
Right.
He didn't really do a lot in Green Bay.
He would have been a good fit for the Pats if Brady had stayed. Yeah.
I'm going to argue this, but any quarterback is going to be successful under the Belichick system.
I have a feeling not so much.
You guys might make a wild card.
We barely made a wild card.
You're not going to make the You're not going to lead that division unless
unless
Belichick really pulls some shit out of his ass.
Yeah. So the Chicago Bears also signed QB Nick Foles after trading a 4th-round pick to Jacksonville. So that was an interesting idea for them to do.
I think it's going to give a lot of competition to Trubinsky.
He needs it.
He does. He needs that fire to kind of push him a little bit. And this actually almost concerns me.
Oh.
As an NFC North.
So you're afraid? Are you kind of afraid of the Bears now?
I wouldn't. Well, if they say they get rid of Khalil Mack, no. But Khalil Mack did not have a stellar performance last season.
He had a rough season.
Which I really hope they give him up. And I really want Green Bay to pick him up. Because we had a good success when Julius Peppers left Chicago and came over.
Right.
And we moved him from a DN to a linebacker.
True.
So Khalil Mack is a lot younger and probably has a lot of the similar skill sets as Julius Peppers.
Yeah.
But I think adding Nick Foles, who was a Super Bowl MVP, is a great backup quarterback that can be tossed into a game and win a game, which that's an underappreciated skill as a backup.
Yes.
Because look at, Green Bay is a primest example.
Yeah.
Once Rodgers got out, all hell just went.
Yeah.
Like we sucked.
We were
worse than the Browns, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
didn't your other favorite team, the Detroit Lions, beat you that year? Both games?
That was our, because I think we had 2 years where we went below 500, which was like the first time in 20 years. But let's say Trubisky does not play well.
Yeah.
Now you have this quarterback that plays extremely well with little snap time with the starting offense.
Yeah, he can just get up and go for some odd reason.
He is the perfect backup. So I think he has a really good chance of not only pushing Trubisky and making him mature. I don't want to say man up because I don't want to sound sexist, but mature to a level of which a quarterback in an NFL needs to be at and be a leader and really compete for that job. Because now you have a backup quarterback that has won the Super Bowl.
That knows how to play the game.
Exactly. So, and I think he has a coaching tie from Philly into Chicago.
Yeah, so I guess one of his old offensive coaches is now over at Chicago. I don't know if he's the head coach. For some reason, I feel like it's the head coach that knows him.
Was it Fox? Coach Fox still over there?
I think so. I don't remember, but somehow the coaches knew him, so they knew he was a solid pickup that they could bring somebody in that would really either help teach or could do the job that they need.
I think any team would be wise to have gone for Foles, which means that the Jags are full blown Minshew.
Yes.
Now they're probably going to pick up
They're gonna have to pick up a rookie, or a seasoned quarterback that's at that point where in his career that he can be a backup.
Yeah, I mean, there's what the hell is his name? There's enough seasoned backup journeymen that are out there.
Yeah,
they could pick up a couple mil.
Hell, I think that the Colts released the one they picked up from the Pats last year. What's his name?
Brissett?
No.
Matt Leonard.
Matt not
Hasselbeck? No.
No. Jeremy, damn you.
The one time where you actually need him.
Yeah, we need him this week. Somebody call Jeremy and tell him to get on here.
Colts back. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there we are.
Brian Hoyer.
That's who it was. He ended up playing a bunch of games last year, but he ended up not winning. So he's a good backup QB. That's about it.
Well, let's see where he's at now.
So let's talk about these free agencies.
Go ahead. You can.
So far, the free agency 2020 tracker. So number one.
Now, some of these might have changed so if you for the latest updates on all this free agency stuff, go online and find it.
Yeah,
it's really weird because I never look at this camera, but this was pulled like this morning. It could have changed. Teams could have gone somewhere else.
Yeah,
or players could have gone somewhere else.
Some of these are like these are possibly going to be traded soon, or they are going to just call it a day.
Oh, and mine. Let you know, this took me almost 2 hours to do.
I am grateful because when I saw this, I was like, holy crap.
So the emblems wouldn't come over.
Oh, geez.
So I had to go to old show notes and pull every single one, and there's 100 players on this list.
I love you.
This was a bane in my existence, and I sat on my couch. I skipped the gym. I skipped everything, and I even did this before I had breakfast.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like,
how early were you up?
7:45.
Oh, jeez.
So I didn't finish until almost 10 a.m. Yeah. So
it's a good thing you work for the government, huh?
I'm on vacation right now.
Right.
Tomorrow I start work again.
So that's why you had to go into work to get your stuff.
Yes. I just need to...
I thought you were getting fired when you told me that.
No. So just so you know, I really do care about this show. Even though I said, hey, I'm going to take the second seat on this, and this is your show, but I want us to have a successful show.
Right.
So
and I've been working till like super hours early in the morning.
Well, Jeremy can't do sports at work.
Right.
You're inconsistent. Yes. I don't want to say you don't do stuff. You're just inconsistent on when you get to do things.
Right, because lately I get stuck on projects that I have no control over at all.
I almost lost sleep.
Oh, jeez.
Tuesday night and Wednesday night because of the show.
Oh, God.
Because I knew that you hadn't done anything. I know Jeremy sure as hell didn't do anything, which meant if I hadn't done anything, I was like, oh, no. And then here comes Thursday morning. I'm like,
oh, shit.
Oh, we got to put a show together. And Amanda can contest to that. Like, I was stressing over this.
Aw, I feel bad. I'll give you a reach around later.
Oh, thanks. We'll just do a Dutch rudder. My left shoulder hurts. Actually, I might need to have you try to crack my back.
All right.
Now I'm thinking about it. Amanda tried, but she didn't have that.
She doesn't have enough weight behind
it.
So, Dak Prescott, he got franchise tagged by this Dallas Cowboys.
And he's making more than Tom Brady this year.
Yes.
So I want to let you know. So I know we're going to get to him, but do you think that Tom Brady and Drew Brees watered down the bargaining for these quarterbacks?
I feel like they did a little bit.
Because Brees took, what, $25 million?
A year, yeah.
Brady is $30.
Yeah.
The Cowboys offered $32, $33, and he wants like...
Really?
Yeah.
He's never even been to a Super Bowl. He's never even been to the game.
He wants like 37.
Holy crap.
Now, if I was Jerry Jones, I'd be like, look, Dak.
You make it to the dance.
Let's say he wants 37. You want let's see if I can do it. Dak, you want 37,000? Tom Brady over here, he didn't want taking 30. And Drew Brees, he has the most touchdown passes in any quarterback. He's only getting 25.
Yeah.
What makes you think that I'm going to pay you 37
when these veterans and the GOAT, the greatest of all time, is making only 30.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and give you 28.
Yeah.
And that's for 4 years, and we can rock again when we get a Super Bowl.
Yep.
How close was I?
You're pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah, thanks.
I appreciated that. That was pretty. That was pretty good.
But I just think he is dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
just young dumb people. You know that happens.
that's what happens when you wait it.
Yep. Chris Jones, he defensive lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs, was also franchise tagged, so he's still there. Drew Brees is going to stick with the New Orleans Saints, and he said he was going to be a Saints or he was going to retire. He got the same contract he got last year, $50 million for 2 years.
I have to say,
Over 2 years.
God bless Drew Brees.
Yes.
He is the epitome of a team player.
Oh, yeah.
He did a very team-friendly contract, so that way more people can come in.
Because his contract is full of, it's $50 million, but very little of it is guaranteed, and it's 90% of incentives.
Right. He's appreciative of his opportunity. He wants to play. He wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't want to screw his team over, because if he asks for a whole bunch of money, then essentially the team doesn't have strength.
Right.
I love Drew Brees. I may not like the Saints, but seeing somebody thinking of others first
Yep.
and having that opportunity, especially at 41, he could retire.
Oh, yeah. Well, he said he was either going to play for the Saints or he's going to retire.
And I am so happy to see him, because the next guy is playing in this division. And
Yes.
we're going to we're going to segue off once we talk about this.
This is going to be
this asshat.
So I pray to God that these games are televised more than they used to be, especially this game. When these guys play each other, this should be a primetime game, because this will be the first time in a regular season that these two QBs will meet up. Twice. Not just once, but twice. And they're both considered the best in the league for it.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
And it's probably true. We probably
it's
won't
not Bret
see
Hart.
this. No. And it's probably true, because when in our lifetimes will we see this again?
Aaron Rodgers playing Brett Favre when he played in Minnesota.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry,
Aaron Rodgers was new.
Or Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Yes, that was close, but they never met each other twice a year.
Right. So Tom Brady signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
Or will sign. He hasn't officially signed.
So he was having his so because of this whole Corona thing.
Yep.
They had to agree for a neutral partied,
which they did in New York.
Yeah, in New York, neutral party doctor to do the physical on him in New York, and he was having it done today. I still have not seen any news about whether it went through, but he will sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for $60 million over 2 years, and only I don't remember.
Any idea how much is guaranteed?
I think it was only 15 of it was guaranteed. But the incentives are reachable incentives, unlike what the Pats did. The Pats had incentives that you had to have 60 touchdowns.
Oh.
The Pats the rumors are that their incentive, they weren't going to give them. They were going to give them $15 million a year over 2 years, per year for 2 years, and the incentives to make more were unreachable with the equipment that he had currently. And the minute that Tampa Bay put the rumors actually came out saying that he was going to be signing with Tampa Bay, instantly tons of free agent receivers called them and said, hey, we're interested. What is it going to take to sign with you guys?
A lot of people want to make that push, which is going to screw Tampa Bay over. It's the Manning in Denver all over again. But there's a lot of these free agencies right now, a lot of people that say will sign is because there has to be verbiage in the new contracts because of this whole coronavirus thing, where the players can't physically go to the training facilities.
Yep.
Some teams...
They're literally shipping paperwork.
Well, it's like Jerry Jones. He has a private jet, so he can bring people, but not every team has a private jet, like the Bengals or Green Bay. So it's a lot of shifting around and contingencies.
And even now, they're stopping the private jets really from shipping anybody anywhere.
I would imagine they probably want them tested first.
Yeah, a lot of them.
So, because Tom Brady and Drew Brees were talked consecutively.
Yes.
What do you think Tom Brady was thinking? Because let me break this down. Because we're going to talk about Carolina's new quarterback here soon-ish. He went from a conference that he can single-handedly win every year.
Yep.
It is the JV of the NFL.
Right.
Now he's going to the NFC South.
Yep.
NFC. Mind you, the NFC has some stout teams.
Right.
He has to play.
I'm not saying, but remember, he's played all of these teams and
on.
also beat them before.
Wait. He's got to play Drew Brees.
Yep. Twice.
And the Saints twice. He has to play Matt Ryan.
Yep.
And the Falcons twice.
Oh.
And the Falcons, they are.
It's Matt Ryan.
But they're the Jekyll and Hyde of the NFL.
This is true.
Either they are shut out, lights out, and just amazing, or they are sleeping on the sideline, not even showing up. And then you have the Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
Who have a really good defense. They have an established offense, and they now have Teddy Bridgewater.
Did Bridgewater finally sign there?
Yes, he did.
Oh.
So now you have 3 teams.
Two former Saints players.
3 teams that are playoff contenders every year.
Yep.
This is almost like NFC North,
Yeah.
but in the South.
Right.
Tom Brady just put himself into a market to try to win.
And with the weapons they have at Tampa Bay,
I don't think it's enough.
I do, because when you look at these games, that they got close to making the playoffs this past year with a quarterback that was throwing 6 interceptions a game for over 50% of the games. He went 30 for 30.
He did go for 30 for 30.
And
I think he had the most passing yards, too, this season.
Yeah, but really, they would have won a lot more games if it wasn't for his interception rate.
Yes.
And who protects the ball better than Brady? Not many quarterbacks out there. He'll throw out of bounds instead of throwing a ball that's more often than not, he'll throw it out of bounds.
He's probably the least sacked quarterback.
And he's also has the least amount of interceptions.
He'll throw it away.
He has no problem throwing away the ball if he's not there.
He is a game manager.
Yes.
Now,
And there's nothing wrong with being a game manager.
No, absolutely
Especially
not.
some of these teams that
even though they
have had these quarterbacks that are just slinging it everywhere, and they lost because of it.
Well, I would say for the longest time, Andy Dalton has been gotten crap, and same with what the hell is his name? Carson Palmer.
Yep.
Both of them were considered game managers, and they would always get shit about it.
Right.
But if you break it down, Brady is a game manager.
Right.
He's not a field general. He's not a gunslinger. He is he's a game manager.
Yeah, and he knows the game probably better than anybody.
Yeah.
He can read a defense from the get-go and say, okay.
Is that Brady or is that Belichick?
well, we're going to find out now.
We are. And one thing I thought about is if Brady was smart.
Oh, and he is.
No, because if he was really smart, he would have gone to Miami or the Jets.
Oh,
because what other quarterback has won more games in Miami, New York Jets, Buffalo, and New England?
No, because Brady has only won in Miami, I think, 5 times in his career.
I'm just saying.
He loses in Miami most of the time.
What Miami quarterback has won more than 5 games besides Dan Marino?
That's true.
But I'm just saying, if he was a smart man, he would have stayed in the AFC East.
Oh, yeah, if he was smart, he would have managed to get his way into Buffalo.
No, don't go to Buffalo.
Why not?
Buffalo wouldn't have taken him. Buffalo is fine where they're at.
Oh, yeah.
Go to New York, go to Miami, and then you play Belichick twice. And if you beat Belichick twice, you just took that man's pride. And you just showed that you are the team.
Yep.
Now, if you lose twice,
you
just showed that Belichick is the reason why you were winning and you have 6 rings on your team.
Right, and so that's also the reason why you don't want to stay there.
But that would have been
the
smart money.
They won't see him till next year.
That's the smart money, though. And, to me, that was the smart place to go. Now, the Chargers would have been a really good choice.
But the Chargers would have used him as just a marketing thing, and I think that's what they would big.
I think he would have done well. I think
he would have done decent, but I'm gonna hate myself for saying this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense better than Chargers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive weapons.
And it's still East Coast. He's
still on the East
right
Coast.
On his East Coast.
The offensive weapons for Tampa Bay better than the Chargers. The offensive line about even with the Chargers, maybe a little less, but they were getting better towards the end of the season.
Do you know who I'm surprised didn't make a push for him? Is the Broncos. Because this seems like something that Eli Manning or John Elway would have done.
So the talk was that he was going to do basically what he had done with Manning back in the day, because he is basically being told, you have to win or you're out.
Yeah.
He's on this is his last go of it.
Rid of Was it Kyle Orton?
I think so.
Whoever that guy, yeah.
But so I think this is his last shot. If he doesn't do it this year and make it to the game, he's done.
It's time to get a new, because is he a GM or player personnel person?
I think he's a GM. I think he's a full player personnel GM, if I remember correctly.
But I think,
but it's going to be hard not seeing Brady on this season, and because of that, really the AFC East, it's going to coin flip. It really will be. The Patriots are not guaranteed to win the AFC East for the first time in 20 years.
Yeah, he's the president of football operations and GM.
Yeah. So the first time in 20 years, the Patriots are not basically the favorite to win the AFC East, which is a sad thing to say.
For who?
For me.
Look, I told you all.
I've
been saying this since
I
the
was
show
hoping
started.
it would be a retirement kind of thing, not a, hey, you didn't want to pay me the money, you didn't want to give me the weapons, I'm going to leave. Good luck with the $13 million cap hit that I have for you.
He could have stayed.
He could have stayed, but with basically being told that you're a nobody and we don't care. You're a 43-year-old quarterback and we think nothing of you after what you've done. And would you stay after being told that?
If I was head like the office, I wouldn't have even offered him a deal.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have let him walk.
And that's what but they had to offer him because otherwise they look bad.
I guess, but I mean, ultimately, I know what you said about painting you or a pain for you. This is me swallowing the humble stick. I understand that he is the GOAT, even though I argue it. But
wow,
if 30 million people are saying he's the GOAT, and I'm like one of the 10 million that say he's not.
You're probably wrong.
No, the other ones aren't woke. But let's say that if everybody's following suit and he's the GOAT.
Yep.
He's still 43 when he's going to start the season. You're still a 43-year-old man.
Right.
Playing a game against young 20 and early 30-year-olds.
Right.
They're still full of piss and vinegar. They're still wanting to pop your head off, and they want to take a swing
at the
GOAT. So, I would not. And plus, he is not playing to 50. He might play to 45. That's a might.
So he wants to play until he's 45. But this year, it'll really, if he does good this year, if he goes and turns Tampa Bay into either the number one contender in that division, or basically him and the Saints have the exact same record, but the Saints let's say the Saints have one more win than Tampa Bay. So
let's say they have the same record, but the Saints
split a game.
They
beat somebody in the regular division that more. So if that comes down to the point, we may see two NFC South teams. That's the South, right? Yeah.
They're the South.
So we may see two NFC South and two NFC North teams again.
Well, so this is where I was going. So you're picking up a 43-year-old quarterback. GOAT or not, you're picking up a 43-year-old quarterback.
But how many 43-year-olds?
Let me finish, please.
Okay.
So you're picking up a 42-year-old. He's going to be 43 when the league's season starts.
Yeah, when it starts, hopefully.
Yeah. So you're getting this guy that you know for a fact you're getting one season.
At least.
You guarantee you're getting one.
Yep.
You're praying for two. You're on your knees sucking every cock you can find for 3 or 4. Like, you are doing things that you wouldn't never talk about in confession to do to get him to play more than 2.
Yep.
Now, you're going to build a roster and a team around this guy that you know only has at most 2 seasons left.
Yep.
Same thing that happened when Brett Favre went to the Jets. Same thing that happened when Brett Favre went to the Vikings. Same thing that happened when Manning went to the Broncos. You have Hall of Fame level quarterbacks going to teams when they're at the end of their prime.
Yep.
Now you're going to build these teams around your quarterback because that's what you do in the NFL.
Right.
Now, you're going to chase the dragon. Hang on, let me finish.
Right.
You're chasing the dragon, and I'm talking about heroin.
Oh, yeah.
You're chasing this dragon for that fix, which the fix, your heroin, is this trophy.
Yep.
Now, you missed it or you get it, your quarterback is still leaving, and your entire roster is developed for this guy, the GOAT, the greatest of all time,
Yep.
the GOAT.
Yes,
Now,
it is.
You don't have Belichick as your coach.
No.
So you're not going to be able to take a Jay Cutler and flip him around and be a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
No.
You have a coach in Tampa, that as soon as Brady leaves is going to get fired the next season because you fucked him over and gave him the GOAT. If I was any team in the league, the Browns, the Bengals, any team, I would not have been I would have sheltered in place and quarantined myself for 14 days before picking up Tom Brady. I get it. He's the GOAT.
Right.
I get it. I understand it. He's got 6 rings. He did all in New England, 20 years in New England with Belichick. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand the flavor. I understand the hype. I understand the high
You speak
you're going to
It
have.
sounds like you're speaking from experience here.
I don't, because I've been fortunate to have 2 quarterbacks back-to-back that have been great. But I've seen enough in football to understand if you pick up the Brett Favre after he's retired 3 times, you pick up a Peyton Manning, who the Colts let him go.
Yes.
Remember that.
Yes, the Colts let him go, because he was hurt that season, and they sucked for luck.
Right. And he had his little spine things, and then John Elway just spent the bank, the house's money, on all these players.
Oh, yeah.
And ridiculous contracts that he couldn't afford to keep them all to get Manning a second ring and bring a championship to Denver. You're going to do the same thing in Tampa, even though you have tools, you have things.
Right.
But like you said, all these free agents are now not. Hey man, you got some sugar?
They're all doing.
Got some flour? How about some eggs?
I think the reason why they're doing that is because the stigma behind Belichick is that he's all business. There's no play.
Right.
Where the coach down there is he's a little bit more half and half.
I don't care.
So
it's still a 43-year-old man.
Right, but if you have these people coming to you, you're not going to say, hey, I'm going to give you $8-10 million to play here for our season. You're going to be like, oh, you're coming to us? I'll give you $3 million. You're going to have $3 million to play with the GOAT. That's what a smart GM would do.
Look,
if you're coming knocking on our door, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the league minimum for you, and because you will now have a chance to go for the ship.
No, it's like, yo, man, I got these here cheeseburgers, man. I'll suck your dick. Like, that's what this is. It is a crackhead trying to get a fix down in Tampa.
But they also have a high pick this year, which they probably will get a new QB, a rookie QB.
Do you think Tom Brady's going to allow a rookie quarterback to go in there to potentially knock him out of his position?
He knows he has 2 years.
He's not going to do. They got rid of Jimmy Garoppolo because of him. Think about this.
He knows he's got 2 years. Maybe 3. If they pick up a rookie.
So why are they going to pick up a rookie early round?
Why would you not? So that way you have somebody sit behind the GOAT.
Because you got Richard Nixon in the office now. He's scared as shit. Dick Cheney ain't here shooting people in the face and getting apologized. That's what's going on.
When they got Pretty Boy up in Green Bay, where did he...
Pretty Boy?
Yeah, you're Pretty Boy up in Green Bay.
Mason Crosby?
No.
Because Aaron Rodgers ain't pretty.
Aaron Rodgers.
He's not close to pretty.
Well, he's less pretty.
He's a shined up piece of shit. I mean, like, he's he's just not.
He's good. He's a serviceable quarterback.
Now, give me that silver haired fox of Mason Crosby, and we got a deal. That's a
So when they
man.
picked up Aaron Rodgers, where did he spend the first 4 years of his season?
He spent 5 years behind Brett Favre.
Right. And what round did they pick him up in?
End of the first.
Exactly. So they don't have a first overall pick. They have a decent first round pick. Why wouldn't you pick up a good or decent
I'm gonna
QB?
spin this back.
No, let me finish. To sit behind the greatest quarterback of all time to learn from him.
Okay.
And that way, in the 2 or 3 years, you're sitting there behind Brady. When it's your time to come up, you've learned things that no other QB could teach you. Why wouldn't you do that to yourself when you have seen it work up in Green Bay?
I got
behind probably arguably one of the best QBs at that time to ever play the game, in Brett Favre, and then have you come in and be a very good quarterback to continue the legacy up in Green Bay.
I'm busting. Can I talk now?
I'll let you speak for 2 minutes.
Okay. Brady was in New England for how many years?
20 years.
Okay. Matt Leinart.
Yep.
Brian Hoyer.
Yep.
Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
And feel like I'm missing somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think there's somebody else.
Garoppolo.
Right? Out of those 4 quarterbacks that were all behind the GOAT,
yep.
How many of them have had a successful career?
Right now, 2 of them.
Okay.
The Garoppolo and the Brissett.
Right. Now.
Because those guys sat behind him and was like, fuck, we need to learn this shit.
They sat.
He's smart.
Collectively, that's 4, right?
Right.
If each one stayed there for 5 years, they all had the same experience.
Well, these 2 were there at the exact same time.
And one of these actually started half a season and got them to the playoffs.
Right.
Right? Now, I get what you said about Green Bay and Brett Favre and Rodgers.
It's
Green
getting
Bay,
towards the end of his career now.
Green Bay just got lucky. That's all that is.
Yeah.
That's luck.
But it's pure luck. But if you pick
Now-
up a decent high round QB,
But
if your pick is there, why not?
you got to think about this. Tom Brady was threatened for his career that if he got hurt, Garoppolo goes in, Garoppolo pulls the Brady
Yup.
and pushes Bledsoe away
Right.
and now starts. That is Tom Brady. He was afraid for his job, and he convinced Kraft to push him off.
Yup.
Now, Brady also screwed the Patriots because y'all have nothing.
Yeah.
You guys got shit. Y'all playing some XFL ball, man. That's what y'all playing. Now,
The only thing that may save us a couple of games this year is that they're keeping half the defense, but they're only good for the beginning of the season.
y'all got Edelman.
And we also have the hardest, as of right now, we have the hardest schedule this year.
And guess who's gone?
I know. I'm scared. But look at it this way. See, the tickets to go watch the Pats are going to be cheap to go see all these games coming into town. After this season, we may get tickets back down in the 30s.
And they're not even playing the Packers this season. That's what sucks.
I know.
But I'm just saying, look, I get it. But if I think business central, and I'm a team person.
Right.
There is no way I am bringing Tom Brady to my organization just to fuck it up and get fired within a year of him leaving. Because he's going to go.
But at least you'll have your ring.
Fuck the ring. I'd rather get paid, man. You mean I'm
There'll
gonna
be plenty of places that you can go afterwards.
You're going to be the head coach, and you got a Super Bowl ring, right?
Yep.
Your player leaves, and now you're getting dropped down to an offensive coordinator position because you can't get your team to play the way you want them to do because your owner decided, I'm going to spend money on Tom Brady and build the team around Tom Brady, or your GM.
Yep.
And here you go, coach. Here's everything you need. But when he's gone, none of these needs fit this puzzle that I have. I have a Mickey puzzle, and I have a
Donald Duck puzzle.
Teen Titans, and I have a Yo Gabba Go, and I have fucking somebody else over here.
I'm impressed by high mind cartoons,
I have a Yo Gabba Gabba here. I have the Wiggles over here in Disney, and then I have Marvel, and I have
The Simpsons.
the Simpsons and Ren and Stimpy, and I have the Family Guy. I have 12 different puzzle pieces, and none of them make my puzzle look like the Humpty Dumpty puzzle that's on the box. That's what's going to happen in Tampa. Tampa just fucked themselves. Which, I mean, I don't care. I'm not a Tampa fan. And I hope the Packers
I
play Tampa.
hope just for the craziness of this, I hope Brady goes 15-1.
I hope he goes
the Pats go 2 and
I hope
14.
Brady goes 1-15. I hope that they just have the worst season ever, and the Packers don't play him at all.
I don't. For some reason, I don't feel like they'll have that bad of a season. They haven't put out the schedule yet, so that's maybe why
They have the players, they have your teams,
right,
but you don't know when they're playing.
right.
So they're gonna play. Obviously, they're playing the Falcons and the Panthers. They're gonna play the Bears. They're playing the Broncos. They're playing the Lions.
Yeah. Hold on, if they're playing the Lions, they're going to
How
play
are they
Green
playing
Bay.
Green Bay? Why wasn't it on the Green Bay schedule? I see it here.
Yeah.
All right, so they're playing the NFC North.
Yeah.
They're playing the NFC North.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
They're playing the North.
How much are tickets in Green Bay?
They're not much.
Oh, I think we should take a road trip.
Actually, they're playing in Tampa, which is going to be a lot cheaper.
Oh, yeah. We could drive down there. 24 hours, you drive, I drive?
We can fly. It's
Oh, yeah, flights will be cheap by then if we get the tickets early enough.
all right, so Lions, Saints,
Yeah.
Giants, the Raiders,
Yeah.
which they just signed.
What's his name back to?
They signed a quarterback.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah,
That's down
we'll get there eventually. Panthers again, Saints again, the Packers at Tampa, the Vikings
Yeah.
at Tampa, the Chiefs at Tampa, the Chargers, and the Rams. That's not an easy schedule.
Where's Green Bay? At Tampa?
They're in Tampa.
So he doesn't.
That's a home team.
So
That's a home
almost
game.
all of his games during the cold part of the year are going to be in Tampa Bay. He's going to have a warm winter this year. It's unusual for him.
Yeah.
He might actually feel a little better because he's going to have a warm winter and he's not going to be freezing
Tampa's
his ass
an
off.
outdoor stadium.
Yep. So he doesn't have that dome. It won't have that dome ability.
Well, it doesn't have the dates, so they could. And I mean, I don't know why they have it broken down this way.
I think those are listed, but they just don't have dates for them yet.
But let's say if they're playing Chicago at Soldier Field in
January.
January.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
That's a cold damn game.
But he's played in the cold, so it's not as bad.
That's not Chicago cold.
Oh, it's cold.
It's windy. The windy.
Have you
city.
ever been to Gillette during January, February? It is windy in that
I was
stadium.
there in November when they paid
November,
Packers.
November is a different.
It's cold.
It's not that
But
animal.
it's not windy.
Oh, it's windy in January. It's in December, late December, early January. It is cold in that stadium. I know. I worked there for a year just so I could go to the games.
I will say, a lot of these games are stadiums or warm.
Domes, yeah. Domes are warm.
Because Georgia's a dome, Carolina's open,
Yep.
Chicago's open, Denver's open, Ford is closed, the Saints is closed, Giants is open, Vegas is closed.
Yep.
But I think they have the capability of opening.
Yeah, but it's like one of those retractable roof kind of deals.
Atlanta's closed, Tampa's open. Yeah, all the Tampa games are open.
It'll be funny because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers gun. This will be the first time it's been used so much this season. All right, so let's continue. AJ Green was franchise tagged by the Buffalo by the Bengals as he's a wide receiver. Phillips Rivers has moved from the Chargers. He's a QB. Moved from the Chargers to the Colts. He will sign a $25 million for 1 year. So you get the same price tag as what Drew Brees got. It's not a bad payday.
How do you think he's going to do in Indy? Because they still have Brissett, right?
They still have Brissett.
So
I don't know.
What do you think the thought process was there?
I think the thought process is that Brissett had a rough go of it after he got his knee hurt, and they don't know how well he's going to play this year.
Now, do you think he's going to go in? Do you think Brissett and Rivers are going to compete for the starting position?
I think it might be one of those deals because Rivers, when he's on, he's on. But he has not been on for a while. Last year, he had a rough go of it. It probably didn't help that they were playing the mostly empty home field games, so it felt like they were away the whole entire season. So maybe moving the Colts where they actually have a home team, like fans, might help. So we'll see because when he was off a lot last year. Amari Cooper, wide receiver. He will sign a $100 million for 5 years with the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Harris, cornerback. He has moved from the Nate, help me. I can't remember.
That'd be the Broncos.
Oh, the Broncos to the Chargers. He will sign a $20.25 million for 2 years. Shaquille Barrett, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. He's an edge? What the hell's an edge?
Defensive.
Oh, defensive corner.
Well, he's an edge rusher. Yeah.
Okay. He was franchise tagged by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so he's probably happy to be there because Brady's there. Javon Coley?
Jadeveon Clowney.
He's an edge rusher for the... Hey, Muppets here. For the... I need your help on these. You got to put names because
Seahawks?
The Seattle Seahawks.
Well, so I'm looking at flights from Manchester to Tampa.
Oh, for the games?
I just threw out October,
like October, my birthday October?
say October 9th to October 11th, which is, hang on, we're going to do the 12th. We're going to leave on the Monday. So Friday
I think
to
if
Monday.
that happens, I might get disowned and things chopped off around that time.
I mean, I'm not looking that way. So for a round trip,
Yep.
it's $295 right now.
For a round trip.
Round trip.
Amanda.
So from October 9th to the 12th, Friday to Sunday,
Yep.
Monday, get there Friday night. We have Saturday, game on Sunday. We fly back Monday.
Well, that's not too bad.
Under $300 round trip. I'm just saying.
And tickets are cheap. Well, we're cheap. Maybe we should go with the week after. Or two, well, maybe a month after.
I'm just throwing a guess. You know. Especially because that's the Packers game too, right? That we're looking at?
This is a Packers game. So it might be like January that we have to go for.
It's the kids that weekend. Thanks for being a wet blanket.
Me and you, Amanda, will go. We'll go. We'll spend all Nate's money on beer.
You're not going to be able to fly in October.
Or November.
Or November. So you can't complain. We wanted you to go, but y'all two decided to do something. And y'all two decided to do something against my advisement.
So
why did you have to go buy a new house?
By that time, we'll need one. I'll have to live in my own section.
Oh, did you still need my dad to come look at?
Yeah.
Okay. He's sick, so.
So once he's done sick, but that's different. So Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston.
Do you need me to do this?
In a little bit, I will.
Okay.
He was the
I'll
former
start at 15.
QB of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Technically, he still is.
He's
He's still there because nobody wants him.
Yeah. He may not be there for much longer.
Do you think somebody's going to pick him up?
Maybe.
Marcus Mariota. He went to L.A., the Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Is that on this or?
I don't remember, but he was the player I was trying to think of.
Oh, okay.
Marcus Mariota is now a Raider.
Okay.
Okay, carry on.
All right, so you got after the Jameis Winston.
Oh, I was going to do it at 15. All right, so Byron Jones, he's a cornerback. He was playing with the Cowboys. Now he signed an $82.5 million for 5 years to play with the Dolphins. And actually, that's the only move in free agency that the Dolphins have done as of yet. Anthony Harris is a safety, and he got franchise tagged with the Vikings. Corey Littleton, linebacker, is now with the Raiders. He was with the Rams. Justin Simmons is still a Bronco. He got franchise tagged. Brandon Sharif got franchise tagged by the Redskins. Yannick Nagoe?
And you wanted me to say that name?
I would have loved. Well, no, that would have still been me because I was going to.
Nagakui?
He got franchise tagged by the Jaguars. You're right. This is a little bit more like.
Yeah, it's difficult, right?
Arkin Armstead, edge rusher, is staying in San Francisco. He's going to re-sign for a reported $85 million for 5 years.
Wow.
Teddy Bridgewater, this is a big move, and he got paid pretty well.
Wow, he got paid big money.
$63 million for 3 years to sign with the Panthers, and the Panthers.
Well, that's not really. When I break it down, that's $21 million a year, so that's not really not that much.
It's just a big number up front.
Yeah, it looks like a big number.
And the Panthers have allowed Cam Newton to start talking to other teams.
Yes.
Bud Dupree is staying in with the Steelers with a franchise tag. Quarterback Ryan Tannehill signed a 4-year contract for $118 million to stay with the Titans.
For 4 years.
Joe Thunley, a guard for the Patriots, got franchise tagged. Jack Conklin, offensive tackle, is moving from Tennessee to Cleveland for a $42 million 3-year contract. Dante Fowler, edge rusher, is moving from the Rams to the Falcons. Derrick Henry is staying on a franchise tag with the Titans. Javion Hargrave, he is going to sign with the Eagles. James Bradbury is moving to the Giants. Green Bay Packers offensive tackle Brian Bulaga has yet to have anybody bite on him. He's 30. I kind of hope he stays with Green Bay. He's our left tackle.
Oh.
He's a good left tackle. He's actually probably one of the better left tackles in the league. If I still had Sirius NFL radio, I would know. But the new vehicle I have does not have that.
Oh.
So
We'll have to put that in.
we'll talk. Hunter Henry is franchise tagged with the Chargers. Anthony Castonzo
Yeah.
re-signed with the Colts for $33 million. Robbie Anderson
years.
hasn't had anything happen with him in the Jets. Austin Hooper.
Nothing's probably going to happen with Robert Anderson. He
No.
wasn't that great.
Austin Hooper moved over to the Browns from Atlanta. DJ Redder is now a Bengal. He was with the Texans. Leonard Williams is franchise tagged with the Giants. Matt Judon is still a Raven for this season with a franchise tag. Joe Shorbert is moving from the Browns to the Jaguars. $53.75 million for 5 years.
Wow.
Trey Waynes is moving to.
These are a lot of long year contracts this year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more than usual.
Trey Waynes is moving to the Bengals from Minnesota. Jamie Ward, safety, San Francisco 49ers, is going to re-sign with a really low contract, $28.5 million for 3 years.
That's a real home contract.
Kyle Van Noy, linebacker from the Patriots, is going to Miami.
For $51 million for 4 years.
Melvin Gordon has yet to have any people bite as of this morning.
Really? Do you think he's going to stay that way, or
No, they released him.
they released him?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So he's released. So my question is, who makes that push? Who tries to get this guy?
I don't know. Depends what kind of money there. If the longer he stays in free agent, the cheaper he's going to be.
Well, what teams need a running game?
Need a good running game. Right now, the Patriots. But we need an offensive lineman that actually make that. They can make a run.
Is trash.
Yeah.
Who else you got out there? Denver.
Yup, they could use a running game.
The Cardinals just screwed somebody with their running back.
Yeah.
Houston got screwed. That was DeAndre Hopkins.
What did he sign for?
They got the.
Oh yeah. They traded him to
Arizona.
Arizona, yeah.
Houston gave up DeAndre Hopkins, a first-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and a sixth-round pick for a running back that hasn't done anything in 2 seasons.
Oh jeez, what the hell are they doing?
They are smoking straight crack. I don't. But yeah, Melvin Gordon is a solid. I hope he finds a good team.
Yeah.
Xavier Rhodes, still nobody's competing for that one. DJ Humphries, offensive tackle, re-signed with the Cardinals, $43.75 million for 3 years. Brashard Perriman is still a wide receiver in Tampa, and I would imagine he's probably going to want to stay.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to say, I'll take a hometown deal for
Unless
this.
Brady says he doesn't want him.
Right.
Logan Ryan is still
He
available.
was a fairly decent wide receiver, if I remember correctly. So he may say, hey, I'll stay and play with the GOAT.
I'll play for $13 million for a year.
Yep. Hell, he might say, I'll play for $13 million for 2 years, as long as the Brady's contract's there.
Logan Ryan is nobody's biting on him yet.
Former Patriot.
Now he's a Titan.
Yep.
Andrew Wentworth will sign a 3-year deal with the Rams again. Devin McCourty re-signed with the Patriots, $23 million for 2 years. Jason Peters, Shelby Harris, nobody's topped of them. Brian Poole is staying with the Jets, $55 million for 1 year.
Yeah, $5 million. Just 5.
Yeah. Jamie Collins, linebacker. Patriots going to the Lions.
I'm surprised about this, actually.
Are you? Go on. Because I know Matt Patricia was a defensive coordinator.
He was.
And now he's going to play for Matt Patricia again.
Right, but Collins has always been, hometown first.
Well, wouldn't Matt Patricia be hometown? And Brady's gone, so...
I think that might be the reason why Jamie Collins decided to make the leap. Because he's taken hometown deals a bunch of times with the Pats, but I think it's more Brady kind of keeping the band together. And now that the band is broken up, the band's really starting to break up.
Yeah.
Because there's been rumors that Edelman is actually talking about trying to get out of his contract now.
I'm curious on how many people are going to stay now that Brady's gone.
Right.
And how many people believe in Belichick, which, I mean, if they've all been drinking the Kool-Aid for this long, then I would stay with Belichick.
But who has drinking the Kool-Aid longer than Brady when it comes to Belichick? And maybe that's why it's finally reached the head.
Yeah.
Because Brady's always taking the hometown deal. So,
Robert Quinn is going from Dallas to Chicago, $70 million for 5 years, and he is
Wow.
an edge rusher. Ha Clinton Dix.
is that really his first name?
Mhm.
Wow.
It was a nickname, and it's whatever.
He's a safety.
He was with the Packers, and then he signed with the Bears 2 years ago.
And now he's a free agent.
And now he's a free agent. I would like for him to come back to Green Bay. He was a first-round draft pick. He started in college. He was a corner,
Yep.
and then the Packers converted him to a safety because that's what they do.
Yep.
I would like for him to come back.
They're not the only team that does that because the Brady's. The Belichick has done that to a couple of different college corners. He moved back to safety and have been much better at safety.
Yep. I would like to see Ha come back to Green Bay, but I could see him going to a number of teams. He's a solid defensive player.
San Francisco could use a good safety.
I was actually thinking Tampa. Right away. That's the first place I thought it was Tampa or the Jets.
Yeah.
Because the Jets like the strong secondary.
Yep.
Jaron Reed staying with the Seahawks.
For $23 million for 2 years.
Malik Collins is going to sign with the Raiders.
For an unknown amount right now.
Shaq Lawson is moving from Buffalo to Miami, staying in the AFC East.
For $30 million for 3 years. There's a bunch of people moving the AFC East to AFC East, just heading down to Miami.
57 surprises me, but Shaq Lawson is going from Buffalo to Miami.
Yeah, we just said that one.
Yep. Okay, so Eli Apple is moving from the Saints to the
Raiders.
to Vegas.
And he'll sign for something.
Blake Martinez.
Really?
Yep. I think with the addition of the Smith brothers, he's going from Green Bay to the Giants for essentially $10 million a year for 3 years.
Yep.
Demarius Randall, which I'm surprised nobody's trying to snatch him up yet. He's still out there for the Browns.
Bunch of safeties.
Bradley Roby, Ndamukong Suh.
He may want to stay home. This may be his best chance to get a ring.
Yep, I agree.
So he may have to take a hometown discount.
I didn't know he was in Tampa.
Yeah, last year and the year before, if I remember correctly.
Because last I remember he was in Miami.
Yeah, he was there, and I think a couple years ago he was a free agent, went to Tampa because they gave him a good deal, and I think now this is the end of his contract, so he's technically a free agent this year because he played last year for him, and he was a good defensive lineman, so he's worth some money, but I have a feeling he may want to stay around for a little bit less than he thinks he's worth because it may be his best chance for a ring.
Yeah, I mean,
Because the minute Brady said that he was going there, instantly they moved on the Vegas boards. They went from being a 20-1 odds to a 7-1 odds.
I think the Patriots are
They dropped.
they're predicting a 2-14 season.
Yeah, right now, Vegas dropped them from a 4-1 odds of winning the Super Bowl to now a 12-1 odds.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Kendall Fuller is moving to Washington.
I have a feeling we're going back to the early 90s again, where we're just happy if they have 5 winning games.
JPP is staying in Tampa. Do we even know? Do we know who half of these people are? I'm just gonna keep going down.
Jimmy Smith is cornerback. Michael Pierce, Emmanuel Sanders, wide receiver, San Francisco.
Do we think he should stay?
He should.
I mean, he's probably going to have to take a low ball deal, but, I mean, the 49ers potentially are another Super Bowl contender again.
Yeah. Not much of their team is really changing, so.
Marcus Mariota, again, he's moving to the Raiders. So, again, I think this is going to be a push to I just farted on his name.
Up further.
Nope. He's not on this list. The quarterback in Oakland.
No, he's gone.
No, he's not. I mean, Oakland's gone.
Oh yeah, but
Derek
they're
Carr.
Vegas now.
Derek
Carr, yes.
I think this is going to be a push for Derek Carr because I think he's in his 5th-year option.
Yeah.
So I think bringing Mariota over is going to compete with Carr and push him forward. This I was happy for is Christian Kirksey, Kirksey.
Yeah, Kirksey.
Is moving from
the Browns
to Green Bay for $16 million for 2 years. I always enjoy when Green Bay makes a move. Amanda just sent Patriots signing Pro Bowl safety Adrian Phillips.
So, what does that mean for the other safety we have?
27-year-old coming up undrafted
Adrian
talent.
Phillips. That's funny because Jordan Phillips moved from the Bills to the Cardinals.
He's 5'11". I don't care about that.
Levon Bell, safety for the New Orleans Saints, is still not been grabbed.
He's 5 interceptions in 61 games.
Let's see.
I think he was a...
What other ones are noteworthy here?
Yeah, he was a Charger. Well,
there's really not many other notable ones on here.
Your Patriots are making defensive moves, which is important.
That's what they always do. Danny Shelton from the Pats, the defensive lineman. He has also moved to the Lions. He will sign for $8 million for 2 years.
Nelson Aguilar is still available.
Yeah.
He's a wide receiver from Philly. Mario Addison.
Sean Davis, safety for the Steelers, will go to the Washington Redskins. He'll sign for $5 million for 1 year.
Darquez Denard.
Who's he?
Cornerback in Cincinnati. He's a solid corner.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, I know who you're talking
Jalen Mills, he re-signed with the Eagles. Gerald McCoy, he is going to Dallas. And then Sean Davis.
Yeah, that's about it.
There's not a lot of... I mean, that's 100 players, and there's more. But the biggest thing that's really just saturated the news is
Brady.
Which I feel is important with the new AIDS or new herpes coming through.
Yeah.
That's just fucking everybody over.
But it's just like people are in New Orleans are mad. They're right now. There are a lot of people mad at the New England Pats. They're not mad at Brady for leaving because they see the money that he was offered, and they know that probably the Pats wanted to give him nowhere near close to that. Especially since it basically comes down to, we're positive that Belichick just said, "I'm done. I had to deal with him for 20 years. I'm just done with him."
Now, here's a question. Since you're a Patriots fan.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think is going to have the better season? Belichick or Brady?
Brady.
Really?
I really do.
Why? So, are you a believer that Brady is the reason why
I'm
the Patriots are why they are? Or
I'm a believer that when you're down and out and when you have 2 minutes to go, who is making all those calls? And who has the most 2-minute drive comebacks to win the game than Brady? Not many quarterbacks. I think there's maybe one ahead of him. But 2-minute drives, that is all the QB calling at the line of scrimmage. So I'm a believer that when the game comes down to the line and you were the one who's making the decisions, Brady's made some very good decisions.
Now, I'm going to flip it a little bit on you. Do you think Josh McDaniels is pissed off that he didn't take any of these head coaching positions because he thought he was going to have Tom Brady again?
So I think McDaniels is fucking livid. McDaniels has had a QB that he knows in and out, that he can literally talk to like a coach.
Yeah.
Like he's not having the coach up, but talk to you're a coach, I'm a coach, you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Very easy.
For 7 years now? He's worked with Brady 8 years now? Between the time before and this time around, I think it's been 7 or 8 years total.
19 years of experience.
Yeah. Go to his Wikipedia page. It'll tell you what years that he was on
Yeah, I didn't want to go to Wikipedia.
Yeah, but Wikipedia at least tells you when he was with the Pats before, too.
He was a personnel assistant in 01, defense assistant 2-3, quarterback coach 04, offensive coordinator and quarterbacks 5-8, Denver Broncos head coach 9-10.
Yep, those were the years he failed miserably.
2011 he was an OC for the Rams, and then 2012 he was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach.
So 12,
7
13,
years.
14,
Well,
15,
6
16,
years.
17,
if you don't count the 19
18.
season.
Oh, well, the 2 years that he was with the Pats
Well,
for him.
He was there from 01 to
But he was
8.
like an offensive coordinator for 2 years,
yeah,
right?
but he's still in the locker room for
Right, but
7
being
years.
an offensive coordinator is
Yeah.
definitely a little bit different. So you have 2 years, and then you have 12 that he came back,
so let's say
13, 14,
4 years.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So you got 10 years that he was with Brady, that
Yeah.
they were calling the plays.
Yeah,
That's a whole decade of plays that they trusted each
Yeah.
other, that they could literally talk to each other like coaches.
yes.
And now he's having to try and find either they're hoping that Stidham might be ready, or they're hoping they can find a bridge quarterback to bring in. That he might possibly have to actually coach.
Yeah,
Not talk to him like, hey, I'm seeing this, you're seeing this, you're seeing something different. What's not matching up here? What do we have to do different? What do we have to call on the field that we need to do differently? Not, shit, I'm seeing this, you need to do this because you don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about. And he's probably livid. He's like, I could have had a head coaching deal, but I stayed here, finished up paperwork because you wanted me to instead of going out for these interviews.
Brady straight screwed your team.
Oh, I know.
Everybody knows.
But
It is everything that is all over. Like
the worst part
ESPN.
is I am not mad at Brady because of the way they came about with their last talks for what they were going to pay him.
Really, you're not mad?
When you make incentives to the point that are unreachable with the equipment that you were given last year, and they don't really plan on replacing that. So if you want to get paid, but the only way for you to get paid is to reach these certain points this year and that year. So they've made it to the point where you have to make so many more touchdowns this year than you did last year.
Mm-hmm.
But
and you don't have tools.
But you don't. But you have
no weapons.
You have 2 toys to play with, and neither one of them are deep threats.
No. You got
a slot receiver,
solid slot,
and a solid running back that can catch.
Yep.
So that you give me 2 toys to play with. You gave me a rookie wide receiver that was great in college, but can't play the game at this level. That was hurt most of the season last year. That didn't pay attention to the playbook at all last year, apparently, while he was sitting on his ass doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you give me Dorsett, who shows up for 2 games and we don't see for 6 months. And then you gave me, I want to say Sue, but it's not Sue.
I know the name. Mohamed Sanu.
Is it? It's Mohamed Sanu. You give me Mohamed Sanu for a second-round pick, and he had 1 good game.
I think.
And the 1 good toy that I had last year, you got rid of him the minute he was an idiot and you had to end up paying him his money anyways.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Mohamed Sanu didn't have a better season. He's
I
a
am
really
too,
good wide receiver.
But when it really comes down to it, he's not a wide receiver. He is a slot guy
That's still
all
a
day
wide
long.
Receiver.
No,
Well, he's always played slot.
He's always played slot.
Same with like Emmanuel Sanders.
And the same as Edelman.
Yep.
But without a deep threat, the slot guy is useless. Without a good, and you give me 0 tight ends that I can
You know
throw
what
to.
we haven't talked about? The Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
We didn't really talk about it, but the Cardinals have 2 number 1s
Right.
in the wideout.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins and Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Larry Fitzgerald is a weak 1. DeAndre Hopkins is a strong 1.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are a team to watch. They are going...
But they need a QB that can do it.
That QB can throw the ball. He
Yeah.
can sling it. How many teams have a corner, a free safety, and a strong safety? So 2 strong corners, a safety, and a strong safety, Pro Bowl caliber
Yep.
that are going to defend D-Hop and Fitzgerald.
Last year I would have said the Pats.
Nobody.
This year, I don't know if this is anybody.
Nobody has 2 Pro Bowl corners, 2 a Pro Bowl safety, and a Pro Bowl free safety.
Yeah.
Either those 2 are going to go down the field, do streams all the way down,
Yeah.
and your flat's going to be open, or they're going to do some type of route. The Cardinals, if they have a defense that can show up, they're going to be in the playoffs.
Quite possibly.
I see they're going to – if the Cardinals played the Packers don't stand a chance because their defense is sorry and is not going to be able to do it.
So now you're going to make me open up last year's stuff.
Because I'm telling you, the Cardinals didn't do great, but their quarterback is okay. And he's coming into his third year. The Cardinals are going to be the team. I'm going to predict the Cardinals
Team standings.
at least win their conference.
So where do we got the Cardinals?
They are in the
NFC West.
Yep.
And they were last.
I see them going at least.
You have them
10-6.
beating San Francisco and the Seattle Seahawks.
I'm going to say they're going to go 10-6.
You have 10-6.
10-6.
So they would not have even made the playoffs last year.
They are going to beat out the Rams. The Rams are going to be in 4th.
Yep.
The Seahawks are going to be in 3rd. The Cardinals are going to be in 2nd, and the 49ers are going to be in 1st.
Okay.
That's my NFC West.
So you think they're going to win the playoffs?
And I think
get to the playoffs.
they're going to get a wild card slot.
So
Tampa, they're going to be in 3rd place.
I don't think so.
The Saints are going to take it.
I think that
And it's going to be Saints, Falcons, Tampa, Panthers. I don't think Bridgewater is going to do as well in Carolina.
I have a feeling it will be Saints Tampa fighting for first place all year long. Really, the reason why they won the 7 games was those defense. Is the Tampa Bay
This is
defense.
going to be I think the Falcons are going to do better this year.
I think the Falcons will do better, but I
Maybe
have
they're
a
gonna take
feeling
second.
Tampa will be doing much better with not having the ball intercepted 5 to 6 times a game.
So I'm looking at this. Ready?
Yeah.
Buffalo's going to take the AFC East. Kansas
Yep.
City is going to take the West. Baltimore
Yep.
is going to take the North.
Well,
And
I wonder about Baltimore because Tennessee showed how to shut down Baltimore
yeah, but I don't,
in the wild card in that second week. That really Tennessee had
but
the
think about this,
perfect way to shut down
we're just
Baltimore.
looking at this, right?
Right.
The Steelers aren't going to take them. The Browns, maybe.
Maybe.
But once they have to learn how to be a team.
Right. Again.
They're a bunch of individuals. They need to be a team. Cincinnati, new quarterback. They had to franchise tag A.J. Green.
Yeah.
The Bengals are in a rebuild.
Yeah.
So out of that conference, the Ravens have it.
Oh yeah.
If you could go the South, I'm going to say Tennessee is going to take it.
Yep.
I'm going over to the NFC.
Let's start at the top.
Cowboys are going to take it.
Really?
Yep. And
No, that was the division waiting. The best loser won.
right. So I think the Cowboys are going to take the NFC East.
Okay.
49ers are going to take the West.
Yep.
I'm going to skip the North for a second.
Do you think your Green's up there he's gonna stay healthy, or is he gonna get hurt again this year? Because we do that to him.
I think the Vikings might take it,
Ooh.
but I don't want to say it, but I think the Vikings are going to take it.
Okay.
And Green Bay is going to take the second wild card slot. The South is going to be the Saints, and the Buccaneers
Gonna be tight behind him.
could make the wild card, but you also have the Seahawks, and you have the Cardinals. So I think the Cardinals will take a wild card. I think Green Bay is going to take a wild card, and I think the Saints are going to take the South.
Okay, so since you made your picks, I'm gonna make mine. So Buffalo definitely taking the AFC East.
Yep. Unless the Jets pull out something, but I don't think.
Right.
I think
I don't think
New England's going to be in second or third. I don't think they're going to be
I
last.
think the Pats are going to be like third place this year. I see maybe 5-6 wins this year.
I think they might split. I think they might go 7-8 or 8-8. Or 7-9, 8-8.
Maybe. Down in the AFC, over in the AFC West, I definitely have the Kansas City Chiefs keeping it up. They're going to win that division hands down. AFC North in that division, yes, you are right. The Baltimore Ravens are going to win. I don't think they're going to win as many as they did last year,
No, but they're still going to win enough.
but
to
they're
take
going
the
to win
division.
enough to win the division. In the South, I have a back and forth flip between Houston and Tennessee. I think Houston has a chance, but with after them making that stupid trade, I do have Tennessee probably winning that one.
I think the Jaguars might take third. The Colts will probably come in last, and then Houston. Well, Houston could be third or fourth.
If Houston doesn't make some miracles happen, they could end up at a third place in that division. NFC East, I think Philly might beat Dallas again.
Now, I would love to see the Redskins move up because
Yes.
they got Ron Rivera as their head coach. I'm not sold on their quarterback. Is it not Deshaun? Who's their
Not Deshaun
Kareem
Watson.
Haskins?
Maybe, I don't remember.
I think it's Kareem Haskins. I would like to see the Redskins move up.
I would like to
taking
see
second.
I would
place
like
at
to see
at
the winner of
least.
that division at least have double-digit wins.
I completely agree. Who
Um,
are you taking for that one?
I'm gonna take the Philly Eagles again.
Okay.
NFC West, I'm gonna take San Francisco. Jimmy G had a decent year. Of course, they made it look like he didn't do crap all year, but he did have a good year throwing the ball.
They managed the game. That's all you have to do.
He managed the game. They got ahead. He threw the ball. They got ahead, and now they have to. Now that they showed they could run the ball, they need to bring in that passing game though, because that's why they lost. Because he didn't throw the ball really at all in the postseason, because he didn't need to. But you need to mix it up. Go 50-50. Go 40-60. So you're only passing the ball 40% of the time. It's better than what they were doing in the postseason where they threw the ball 10% of the time. So his arm was tired. Well, it wasn't even tired. It was just cold
Right.
because it hadn't been used at all. In the NFC North, it's a coin flip for me between the Green Bay and Minnesota.
I actually think Chicago's going to do better this year.
But I have a feeling the Lions, this is the last shot. So the Lions are picking up the people on defense that they need from the Pats, really. And so I have a feeling that the Bears might be the last, or Green Bay may be dropping.
I don't know if Green Bay is going to take first place, but I don't see them going below second.
No.
Um,
But we'll find out.
the North NFC North is the hardest division to call.
Yeah.
It really is.
They flip-flop like nobody's business, and it depends if Aaron Rodgers decides to get hurt again. So we'll see.
I would have loved to see Tom Brady go to the NFC North. I would have loved it because that division.
You're talking about the two top teams having quarterbacks that they love, so they're not going to get rid of. And there's no way in God's green earth he would have played for the Bears, the Detroit Lions.
I'm just saying that to me, out of all the divisions, all the conference, like that is the hardest one in the league.
Right.
Even when your team is bad, it's still the hardest fucking division.
Yeah. But Brady's beating all that, so he doesn't want to go play over there. So we have the NFC South. This is going to be hard. You're talking about my dad's team, the New Orleans Saints, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I never liked, but I do like Brady, playing to each other twice a year.
You got the BC quarterback of Matt Ryan.
Yep. And then you have a former Saints quarterback over the Carolina Panthers.
Who is also the former Minnesota starting quarterback.
Who's also a former Minnesota starting quarterback, who could have gotten paid. And we talked about him when he was playing over the Saints when Breeze got hurt, that he was going to end up with a starting job. But the last time he had a starting job, he failed miserably at it.
He didn't have he didn't have the solid. He didn't have anything solid around him. They were still building around him, and he got hurt.
And he got hurt.
And then they pick up what, Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, they went to Cousins.
No, Sam Bradford.
Oh yes, that was that time. So I have a feeling it's going to be a race to the finish between New Orleans and Tampa Bay this year. I see Tampa Bay winning 12 games this year, easily. I have a feeling that it's going to really come down to a lot of these games that Tampa Bay lost really came down to interceptions at the end of the game. Their defense put them in good position to win, but when you throw the ball away in the last minutes of the game and the defense gets a go-ahead touchdown or the other team marches down the field and gets a touchdown, it's really hard for a team to bounce back from that and win with seconds to go. a lot of the Tampa Bay games were lost by interceptions alone. He gets to play your NFC North that you love so much. He's playing Kansas City again.
They're gonna go 9-7.
You think 9-7?
Yeah. So
So do you think they're gonna lose to both games against New Orleans?
So hopefully I got this right. So they're gonna lose the opener. The Falcons are gonna beat them first.
You think really?
They're gonna beat Carolina first. They're gonna lose. I think they're going to beat the Bears, beat the Broncos, beat the Lions, lose against the Saints, beat the Giants, beat the Raiders, beat the Falcons, lose the Panthers, lose the Saints.
So you have the Saints winning both those
Yep.
games.
They're going to lose to the Packers. It'll be a tight game against Minnesota. But I think Minnesota's going to win. The Chiefs are going to win. They're going to beat the Chargers, and I think they're going to beat the Rams. So is that my 9-7?
I think so.
So yeah, that's where I'm looking at.
Yeah, that was 9.
I think they're going to beat the
So-
Chargers and the Rams. But some of these other games, I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to beat New Orleans.
Let's spin
at
that
all.
to me. So I have them beating the Falcons.
So you think they're going to beat the first game?
I have they're gonna win the first game. They'll beat the Panthers, beat the Bears, the Broncos, the Lions. First game against the Saints, I'll say they lose.
Okay.
They'll beat the Giants. They'll beat the Raiders. They'll beat the Falcons again. They'll beat the Panthers again. They'll win against the Saints. They'll lose to the Green Bay. They'll win against the Vikings. And they'll beat lose to the Chiefs, beat the Chargers, and beat the Rams.
So you're giving them a
13.
13-4.
Yeah. So that's the same. Well, 13-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 16
13
games.
3.
Yeah. Let's go to a 17-game season. Oh, I think that has 17 games on it, doesn't it?
They're starting 17 in 2021.
Okay.
But they're bringing in 2 playoff teams this year. 2 extra teams.
2 extra teams this year, so it'll be 3 wild card games on wild card weekend.
Then
But the CBA hasn't been signed yet, so if that's it has been signed?
it got approved. The Players Association approved it.
Okay. Because I hadn't seen that, because that should have been news on here.
It was last week.
Well, we didn't report about it last week.
I know we didn't, but it was last week news. I don't carry last week to this week. That's the problem.
Well, if we don't talk about it, I like to carry that.
I know, I get it, but I put the show together this morning. And I kind of forgot. But yes, the CBA got approved. The players approved it. The league owners and all that approved it. But yeah, so
Anywho, the 13-3 season, that's not bad.
I
have a feeling they're gonna split the games down in New Orleans.
see. I guess my problem though is
You're still hate Brady.
no. It's
Yes.
he's going to a new offense. The division is hard. It's not the AFC East.
Right, but they're also playing a lot of teams that he's seen before. It's
Yeah.
not like he hasn't seen these guys. We played Green Bay that whole North Division last year.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what they're like. He knows they haven't changed very much. He hasn't played in the NFC
But you
East
gotta,
very
but
often.
you still have to remember he's playing in a new stadium.
Right.
With a whole. I mean, he's used to playing with new people because he's the oldest.
He's been there for the longest. He's seen 3 different offensive coordinators.
He's got
3 different offenses
a
go
new
through
OC.
full.
He's got a new head coach. He's got a new defensive coordinator. He's got a whole new coaching staff. He's got a bunch of players he's never played with, which isn't the first time.
But you're the offense coordinator for the Tampa Bay. Are you going to sit down with Brady and be like, all right, so this is what I run. This is what I'm looking at. I'm willing to work with you and find what is going to make
I'm the wrong
us.
person to ask that question.
Because you don't care about the player, right?
To me, he's a 43-year-old quarterback. I
Okay.
am going to run the shit out of that ball. I am ground and pounding, and I'm going to be like, check downs. You are not to air this ball out. You were going to do 3 to 4 deep passes a game.
Yep.
On a first down, on the first drive, we are going to do a Hail Mary. If you make it, great, and we'll reconsider. But I want the defense to know that we are not afraid to throw the ball.
Yep.
Second play, we're running it up the gut. Third play, we're running up the gut. If we get the first down, then we're going to do a check down. Second play, run.
And,
Third play, check down.
And this is why you stopped playing football when you were a freshman in high school.
I'm just saying.
I know
he is a 43-year-old man
who can still throw the ball when he needs to.
Okay. Brett Favre can still throw the ball too, and his ass is retired.
Yes, but Brett Favre was also leads the league in interceptions.
Right, but if you don't take it a chance, you never know. He's also got the most career starts.
Yes,
and I don't think anybody's going to beat that record.
Career starts in a row.
Consecutive starts, yes.
Yes, because Brady got hurt for that season back in 2013.
I think I'm willing to die before anybody can beat that record.
Right.
Because everybody
Brady was close.
So was fucking Breeze.
Yes, Breeze, and then both.
Breeze was the closest.
Right. Because Brady had the 4-year suspension.
His finger up.
Yep. And then all set over again.
I'm just saying.
But
he's 43, and he's
right,
in great
but
shape.
You're talking to a coach, a player coach, basically.
I've coached too.
No. You're talking to. No, I'm not saying you've coached.
Oh,
I'm saying you're talking to.
I'm talking to you.
Right.
So when you say I'm a player coach, you're talking about you to me.
Right, but you're talking to somebody that is probably the smartest quarterback you'll ever have the chance to coach with.
I don't care.
And this is why you would never coach that kind of guy.
Look, he's the player.
Right.
I'm the coach.
Right.
You came to me.
But he's going to change it on the field.
That's fine. But you know what? You start deviating from my plan, I will bench Tom Brady.
And you will be run out of that stadium so fast by the owner.
I don't care. Look, you got to step in line and you got to toe the line. You are in my offense. This is my locker room.
No.
You are on my team.
So you do. And I'm willing to bet that your quarterback of Green Bay does the exact same thing, right?
No, mine's reckless.
Right, exactly.
And
I'm telling you this right now.
He could have stayed in New England and still had his thing.
No, I'm telling you right now, if that offensive coordinator is smart, he's going to bring in Brady day one before the season even starts and be like, this is what our playbook is. What do you want to add that you see in this playbook that you take the playbook home, look at it, and we'll talk about it. And that way we can go through it, and you can say, I would change this, I would move that. This is good, I like this, I like that. So that way that is how you get a new QB, who is the greatest of all time, to be...
God, that makes me angry every time it's said.
To be bought into your system. That is the fastest way.
But
because that's the things that he was complaining about here, that he had no say in the offense. Oh, there's been lots of complaining that he's done. So
clearly he got a freaking franchise quarterback removed from the team.
Right. But after that, Belichick basically got pissed off and said that he had no decisions after that. And Belichick got pissed off. He's an old man. Let him be pissed off. That's fine.
Oh yeah, stay off his lawn.
Yeah. But you had an okay season last year with a QB that threw 30 interceptions, and you're bringing in a quarterback that is not known for interceptions, and you're having the luckiness. Maybe it's the end of his career. Maybe he'll have a rough season. But wouldn't you want his input to be buying into what you're putting down?
I'm curious on something. Keep going.
So it makes me think that, yes, it may be a brand new offense and everything like that, but you're going to have Brady in there before the season starts to find out what his input is on the offense, because you want him to buy into your system. You want him to trust you as an offensive coordinator. So that is how the fastest way to get these high-profile, super smart QBs, these guys that have been here in this league forever, like Breeze and Brady, that have winning records, that have winning records almost every year of their career, and have been to Super Bowls. This is how you get them to buy into a new team.
Okay, so I'm looking at this.
Yep.
So in 2019, the Patriots' run-to-pass ratio was 447 run attempts. And their pass percentage was 58.1% of the time.
Yeah, so they ran past almost 50%.
The Buccaneers ran 409 times and had a 60.6% passing percentage.
Yep.
So it's really not too much of a difference.
Right.
I think if Tampa wants to be successful, they need to get a really strong running back.
They do.
a
They have
really good line.
They do have a
really
good
line. Like, great line. Which I know Brady's going to buy them big-ass TVs and jewelry for every game he doesn't get sacked.
Right.
If they can do that, I think they need to... I still stand behind the heavy run, pound the ball, and let the defense know you're not afraid to throw.
Right.
And it's the basic principle. Establish the run game.
You can see that the Pats are basically saying, hey, we're afraid to throw the ball with only a 51% rating passer rate.
58.
58?
58.1.
I thought you said 51. Okay.
Yeah, 58.1. So they're not too different.
So they're not. But you can still see that they didn't run the ball very much, and compare that to the passing. So that means that they almost ran the ball more often than not. Because they were afraid to pass the ball. Because they had no weapons to throw the ball to.
No. You might be swaying me a little bit on the Bucks. I still don't think they're going to take the division, though. I think the Saints are going to take it.
I have a feeling it's going to be a shootout to the end.
I think in the battle of the old men that Drew Brees is the better quarterback.
I have in the battle of the old men that Drew Brees is the better dome quarterback.
I think he's still the better in the 40s. I think Brees is the better quarterback.
I don't know because
has
Brady
had the better success.
So Brees is now the same age that Brady was when he won the MVP again.
Okay.
And they won the Super Bowl that
right.
year.
But I'm just saying, if you take the rings out, take those Super Bowls away, and just player.
Okay.
Right now, in the 40s, granted Brees is younger,
and
but Brees
in a dome.
Brees has what, the touchdown record right now?
He has the touchdown record.
Right behind Brady.
So the only problem I have with this touchdown record is that
they don't count the postseason. I guess
they don't count the postseason, and all of Brees' home games have always been dome games.
Okay.
Domes are so much easier to throw, and you have no wind resistance. Not wind resistance, but wind factor. So you're talking apples to oranges when it comes to like.
You gotta remember that Brett Favre had that record for a minute.
I know.
And Peyton Manning had that record for a minute.
Yes.
He was a dome player and an outdoor player. So I get what you're saying.
But the only valid I see for that record is Brett Favre because he was all outdoors for his regular home games.
Except for Minnesota.
Except for when he was in Minnesota, yes. But the life of his career was mostly outside.
And cold.
And yes, and very cold. Now Brady has been outside this whole time. Only played domes away games, and it's very rare that we play away in a dome.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking that if this is the thing I always hate that they compare these dome quarterbacks who do have an advantage when it comes to that because you don't have the win factor when you're throwing these balls.
Though Brees played the majority of his career in a dome, but he didn't play his whole career in domes. I believe he was a Charger.
He was a Charger for a hot minute.
And then he got hurt.
Right. And then he went to New Orleans, and that was the end of that. Yeah, San Diego Charger.
01 to 05, so
yes.
That's 5 years?
Yeah, for a hot minute when he was basically a rookie. He got hurt, and then he's been in New Orleans ever since.
Mm-hmm.
But he's only had one Super Bowl win out of that whole entire time.
See, I argue the Super Bowl. And you know me, I'm going to argue the Super Bowl rings every time because one person doesn't win a ring.
Right.
I get it. But Brady has 6.
You're talking one person with 6.
Right.
That has been through, four offensive coordinators.
But
4 different offensive coordinators, not ones that come back.
Same head coach.
Same head coach. Only the same head coach. No, you're talking about totally different offenses.
Same location.
Same location,
same
yes.
Location,
you're
same
talking
field,
about 3 different offensive,
same seasons,
basically. 3 different
never
defensive.
Had to move. I'm just saying.
I have a feeling that it's going to be a shootout between these two teams.
I think the Saints have it.
I think the Saints maybe pull it out.
They have
but I have a feeling it's going to be a shootout to the very end.
It's
not going to be Brees running away with that division anymore.
Brees has had Sean Payton as his head coach for a long time.
Right.
Now, if Drew Brees moved to a different team, I would argue that he's probably not going to play well because it's a new team, new location, new state, new head coach, new playbook, new players, new everything. Even the jerseys are new.
Yes.
Like, you're not throwing to black and gold and Brady's not throwing to purple and blue or blue and whatever color those
Blue,
are.
silver.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Blue,
Like,
silver, and red.
he's throwing to an orange and brown. I think that's
They're
the color.
red.
Well, colorblind me says orange and brown.
Okay, so Tampa Bay Bucks are red and black.
So it's a different color that he's
Yep.
got to get used to, which I get. You're a quarterback. You're going to learn that. If he ever played a Pro Bowl,
And
he would understand
well,
the
sorry,
difference.
he played in the Super Bowls usually those weekends.
But like,
the following
so
weekend.
I think you have to still look at it. Yes, he's a 20-year seasoned quarterback, starting quarterback, 6 Super Bowl time winner, couple-time MVP maybe.
I think 3. I think he's got 3 MVPs
Right.
and 3 Super Bowl MVPs.
So,
Or 4 Super Bowl
but
MVPs.
he's still a person going to an entirely different climate,
Yep.
going to the sea level.
To a nicer climate.
So he's going to an entirely different climate, entirely different environment. He's going to Florida.
Yeah.
Like,
The only thing that time of the year you have to worry about is hurricanes.
granted,
That's only
Tampa is
November.
the nicer parts of Florida. Like, if you went to Jacksonville,
At least
Miami?
it's not in Miami.
yeah. But
The best thing
everything-
in Miami is the beach, and that's about it.
everything is changing for him to go there.
Right. But you got to remember,
Breeze
he spends his summers in Costa Rica with his wife.
He didn't play football in Costa Rica,
Well, he throws it to his wife.
and he wasn't.
I would throw
he
it to
didn't
his
have
wife,
his
too.
hands up some dude's crotch to catch a ball. Now, Breeze, on the other hand, he's staying home.
Yeah.
Nothing in Breeze's life really changes.
No, because Breeze said he was either playing for the Saints or he was going to retire.
Right. And you know what? They brought him back.
They brought him back and yes, it looks like a big number, but it's really not.
It's not. It's a very small number. I just think
I don't remember the exact language they put in, but it's there's almost no money guaranteed if I remember correctly, and it's 99% incentives.
And Breeze he's got the most career passing yards, most pass completions, most touchdowns, highest career completion percentage, highest single season completion percentage, most consecutive games with a touchdown pass, most pass completions in a season, most 5,000 passing yard seasons, highest completion percentage in a game, and most touchdown passes in a game is tied.
All regular seasons. All regular
Right.
season games.
Right. But again, I'm just saying,
Right.
you have to have a solid team around you and a weak-ass division to play in to get to the postseason. Brady just went to the big leagues in divisions.
No.
Well, he went to the second big league because the big is the third because you got the West and the NFC,
Yep.
the NFC North. This bitch went to the NFC. Like, how
Are
you
you
gonna go to the
afraid?
NFC? No.
He's beaten all these teams before. It's not.
He's beaten them in New England. You
Doesn't
have
matter.
to take the fact that he is going somewhere new.
Well, game 1, we'll see what
He's
it's going to be
play
like.
8 games
Yeah.
in a new place.
Yes.
New locker room, new jerseys, new field,
He's going to play 8 games in a
less fans.
He's going to no, not anymore.
Just saying. Do you think Tampa?
I think Tampa Bay is going to be packed to the brim. Oh yeah. They just got themselves the best toy they've ever had.
I don't know.
And if he wins that first game, that place is going to be packed to the brim and then some. There'll be people out in the parking lots cheering, watching games on the game on their TV.
I'm still listening.
And it's they just got themselves the best toy that we ever had. Like, remember when Sega came out that first year? Or you too young, or that little too old for you? Maybe PlayStation. Remember when the first PlayStation came out?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody wanted it for Christmas, and the people that got it for Christmas cried?
It's just like the Wii.
Yes. So everybody wanted it, and if you got it, you cried because you were so happy. This is what they just did in Tampa. They're crying because they're so happy. They got themselves the best chance to go to the Super Bowl and win again. Because they haven't been to a Super Bowl in years.
All right.
All right, but anyhow.
I just think you're putting too much eggs in the basket of.
I don't know. I just have a feeling that there's no way it's going to be nearly as bad as what you think it is, and I have a feeling it's going to be a shootout between the Saints and Tampa Bay this year because of Brady. Because they literally have a QB that's not going to throw the ball for an interception, and he'd rather throw it away and punt.
What if he gets the most interceptions of his career going to Tampa? And maybe Tampa is just the
Just
place
the
where you
bad-
go to throw interceptions.
Well, then nobody else will. That's a notable variety will ever go back to Tampa.
I would still would
'Cause
have
if-
loved to see Fitzmagic and Tom Brady on the same team. Could you imagine that fucking duo?
Where would that home?
Miami.
Oh, that was at Miami. There's no way in hell he was going to
Tom
Miami.
Brady with the backup of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
There's
You
no way
imagine
the
those
wife
two?
would have let him to go to Miami because she does not like Miami. She hates the people over Miami.
You imagine that? Just think about this.
Yeah.
You get Uggs with like the bodega, like
Yeah.
gold chain, long beard, just hamburger meat all hanging out. Like that would have been the greatest thing in the world. You get preppy and hamburger meat. But I think it was
anyhow.
fun. I think we're ready to get out of here.
I think we're ready to
I
get
gotta
out
go
of here.
drive home. But
That's all, folks.
Oh. Bye, everybody.